The sun has returned to the capital city, and so has Big 12 baseball. Tonight, Texas begins their quest for a 72nd regular season conference title. On the other side, West Virginia looks to make it 3 straight series wins versus Texas. The Big 12 opener, next on Longhorn Network. What a gorgeous day for college baseball, and certainly for a Big 12 opener. Welcome to Austin, Texas, UFCU Dish Falk Field, West Virginia in town to take on 16th ranked Texas. It is game 1 of a 3-game set. Kevin Dunn alongside 2 All-Americans. I've got Keith Moreland, I've got Greg Swindell. We're going to start offense here, Keith, and really there's a guy on each lineup that just stands out to you.
Well, we're a third of the way through the season, folks, and these 2 guys are All-American candidates, there's no question. First for Texan, Ben Johnson. He leads the conference in hitting. He leads the conference in number of hits with 33. He's also driven in 15 runs out of the leadoff spot. But Taylor Munden has been right there with him. He has been the guy that's ignited the offense for the Mountaineers. He has 5 home runs. That's tied for the lead in the Big 12. Offensively, these 2 teams go as well as their leadoff hitter goes.
Yeah, and you see both those guys have some power, even though they do get things started for their lineup. Okay, Greg, let's talk some pitching here, because I look at both the starters tonight and kind of polar opposite.
Yeah, polar opposite, like you said, in the 2 starting pitchers tonight. Connor Dotson on one side, West Virginia making his first college start, coming back home. He's from Flower Mound, Texas. You see right there his first college start, but he has 0 Big 12 innings, and you're going up against the innings leader, active leader in innings, and Parker French making his 44th start. So experience versus youth. We'll see if there's no experience substitute for experience tonight with Parker French.
Yeah, we'll see. Should be fun. Dotson probably feeling the nerves right now. Starting lineups, starting pitchers, and we're going to play some ball and maybe something else when we get back.
Texas Baseball on Longhorn Network is brought to you by Wingstop, the wing experts with more than enough flavor to keep Austin winged.
Randy Mazey is in his 2nd season as the head coach at West Virginia. Came from TCU, where he was an assistant there, and you can see what he's done in Big 12 games this season. They are 7-6. He's actually surprised at how quickly they've come along. And we take a look at their lineup offensively. They have a lot of physical guys, but we're going to start with Taylor Munden, top of the lineup.
Well, we had him in the open. He has just been outstanding to this point. He's an All-American candidate, Big 12 Player of the Year type candidate. He has multiple hit games. He also is tied for the conference lead in home runs, and he's going to face a senior right-hander in Parker French.
Yeah, Parker French has been the Friday guy for Texas his whole career since he's been at Texas. You see where he's from and the numbers right there. But Parker last start 5 walks. He's cut down on the walks. His strike 1 has been very good this year and getting ahead of hitters. But you can't afford to give these West Virginia hitters free passes tonight.
And we actually are correct. It is his 3rd season. It says on one of the rosters his 2nd, but he's been there and really done a nice job once Oliver Luck decided to go ahead and make the choice. Taylor Munden will lead it off. We are ready to get this thing started. Munden has really done it all. You see a senior from Texas, 5'11", 190-pounder. Coaches feel like he has just gotten more consistent, but certainly has added more offense. C.J. Hinojosa. And that's a big out to get.
You can already see the movement on Parker French's fastball right there. First one ran in on Munden. That one right there over the plate a little bit, but just runs down in the zone. That's what you want to see out of Parker French. You got to have that sinker.
2 pitches get an out, too. I know that you and I both talk all the time when we're talking together about it. The least amount of pitches you can allow a hitter to see, the more successful you're going to be.
Here's Justin Fox. Catches the zone for a strike. Fox is probably the most improved player at the plate. They like him in the 2-hole. Handles the bat pretty well. CJ is going to get another opportunity. The can 2 at first and another quick out.
That's a good one right there. That one up a little bit in the zone, but it had the movement on it just enough to get inside. And like you said, get another ground ball. That's what Parker French is known for.
Well, take it as a hitter. I'm just as a guy, if I go to the plate and I'm seeing the ball and the ball's got movement on it, a lot of times I start feeling for it because I'm not sure it's going to be where I'm thinking it's going to be. And right now the ball's moving real well for Park.
It's a real good movement early.
Another Texan, Jackson Kramer, Coppell. The velocity has been there too. He's hit 94 and hit 93. Greg, at times you have said maybe he doesn't need to have his velocity up so much.
Well, a lot of times for sinker ball pitchers, if you throw it too hard, it flattens out. And sometimes with the velocity lower, it has, I don't know, more time, but it has more sink on it, more movement.
He's facing a guy in Kramer who is not very fast, but he doesn't need to be too fast because he has tons of power. Also sees a lot of pitches usually.
One of the things that he's got to do is he's got to shorten a little bit. That's what they're working on him because he is such a big man. He's got big power, but you have power, you have a big swing, you got to cut it back, and that's what they've been working on.
2-2.
Getting back to Greg's point, I always felt like if a guy has good sink at 90, when he throws 94, the ball's going to flatten out. I mean, it's just one of those things that happens.
It doesn't have as much time to move.
That's exactly it.
2-2 went to a breaking ball. Brett Boswell is going to give it a chase, but that's going to be a souvenir.
Got away with it too. Was up in the zone. Kramer had a good pitch to hit right there, but after seeing that many fastballs, it's just about disruption and timing. His timing was off because of the change of speed.
It's change of speeds and in out. He's looking for that sinker away, and he busts him in with a breaking ball.
The 2-2. Hit hard, and Hinojosa, it's off his glove. CJ had a chance to make all 3 outs there, but that was stung pretty well.
Ball got up on him. CJ was unable to get low enough. You can see as CJ, this ball is really stung. As he backs up, they're going to give him a base hit. But he tried to get low. You hear me say all the time as an infielder, the lower I get, the better chance I've got to take that hard liner at me to get the hop. It just ate CJ up. I'd give it a base hit.
That ball's hit hard. I would think it would be. It looks like it caught CJ by surprise a little bit.
Yeah.
Ball got on him quick.
That is the first hit of the game.
Well, you know, with the time change, daylight savings time here in Texas, and a lot of places don't do it, but they do here in Austin, and you can see the shadow is a factor right now too.
Good shot from our guys as Brad Johnson, the left fielder, is up.
As a fielder, when you're in the sun and you're looking into the shade, really difficult to see how the ball comes off the bat. You'll see outfielders take a little bit of misstep sometime in this. Infielders too. Look at Brooks Marlowe. He's staring right into the sun there at second.
Going to keep an eye on Kramer. See Colin Shaw. That's probably the toughest place with the sun, right field here at the dish. And this is hit to right field. Shaw's got to deal with it, and it's off his glove. Coming around is Jackson Kramer. They're going to send him. The relay. He's in there. 1-0 Mountaineers.
It's just what we just got through talking about, Greg, and you've seen it, and I've seen it many times. What happens to you in the outfield, you think you're got a beat on a ball, especially looking up into the sun, and it just has a little more zip to it than he thought. Caught him off to the thumb. The left-handed throwing Colin Shaw, he caught him on the thumb as he reached for it, just got away from him.
You don't see that too often from Colin Shaw. That tells you how difficult it is to see out there right now, or to see the ball off the bat.
Absolutely.
West Virginia gets out early here as Cam O'Brien gets a breaking ball for a strike. I like what Cam can do behind the plate. He's the son of Charlie O'Brien. Senior from Tulsa. 0-2.
I like what Parker did right there. Came right back with the first pitch, breaking ball for a strike. Now, with the second pitch, a sinker away, I'd like to see him expand the zone even more away to see just how far he can get away with it.
Upstairs, West Virginia is 6-2 when scoring first this season. Not a great swing, but he's going to stay alive.
That's a little breaking ball, a cutter maybe from Parker French right there, and that was just a protection. That's what that was. A good job by Cam O'Brien just to fight that ball off.
Well, as a hitter right there, sometimes you're fooled so badly. The only thing you can do is just try to put it in play. He kept the at bat alive.
Wow.
He's been good with runners in scoring position.
It's a big out to get right now. You had 2 outs, nobody on. The Mountaineers found a way to score, but you don't let them want to get a couple here. If you're Texas, you're trying anything you can do to get out of this frame.
And he gets him. 93 comes with the fastball. Well, Parker French looked pretty impressive, but West Virginia able to get a run on a triple from Brad Johnson. Texas coming to the plate. They trail. Welcome back. Augie Garrido, the winningest coach in college baseball. Texas 8-4 in Big 12 home openers with Augie at the helm, and they really like hitting at home. .311 batting average on the road. We take a look at their lineup, and you're going to start at the top.
Well, we mentioned Ben Johnson. He's an All-American candidate right now. He's been spectacular. He's got 33 hits. He's 3rd in the NCAA, leads the Big 12, leads the Big 12 in batting average, and he's been making this offense go. Now, they've had good production, Greg, from top to bottom in this lineup, but Ben's been that guy, and they're going to face a young guy tonight that we don't know a whole lot about.
Well, we don't, but Derek Matlock of the West Virginia pitching coach does. He's shown them enough so far this year that they're going to start him in the conference opener on a Friday night in Austin, Texas. You see the numbers on the year; those are all out of the bullpen. 15 strikeouts in only 9 2/3 innings. A big kid can throw 88 to 91 miles an hour over the top. Good changeup. He'll come right after you. But the thing they like about him is he just comes right after. He's not afraid to pitch at this level, but tonight he's going to have to calm the nerves a little bit.
Well, anytime you see somebody 8 2/3 innings of work, 15 strikeouts, he's doing something right.
He's going after you.
Ben Johnson to lead it off. He's swinging at the first pitch.
So he's already at the top of the scale. I said 88 to 91. That's the first pitch of the game. 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
Probably feeling it back in his home state. First start.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm thinking you might see a couple more miles an hour tonight.
There's 90.
You and I discussed this before the game. We were going over the thing, Greg, and first thing you said to me, you said, "Do you take a few pitches?" Because as a Texas hitter, because this guy's going to be pumped up. He's starting back in his home state.
I think it's a great point as this has popped up. West Virginia's going to have to deal with the sun now, and the second baseman, Cascadden, makes the play. He was actually a late substitution. Sean Corso is sick. He's getting IVs right now at the hospital, and he still wanted to try and come, and they said finally, all right, game time decision, you're not playing.
Usually you put a defensive replacement in, they'll find you late in the game. Well, they found him right now.
Right away.
Who do you want to hit it to? Anybody but me, right?
Yeah. let me get loose.
Colin Shaw, you see, tied for first in the country with 12 doubles. He's off to a nice senior season. The 1-0.
I think Texas hitters can already tell that Connor Dotson is going to be around the plate. He looks very comfortable out there. It's one thing as a young pitcher, you have to learn to control your nerves, keep him in, and he's pretty calm and collected out there.
It's in there. One thing, Greg, you talked about before the game, I asked you what was it like your first start, but the first time you ever pitched in college was a start. So he has a little benefit of actually getting a little action.
We have one thing in common. We both started our first college game at Dish Falk Field.
And this one's off of Connor. This is going to be a base hit for Colin Shaw. He struck that pretty well.
Got a fastball about just above the knees. It was down in the zone a little bit. Did a nice job here calling a very good low ball in. And drive it. This ball is going to get back through the box. He was almost deflected and an opportunity to make a play, but it is going to go for an infield hit. This was ticketed up the middle, no question. Catches him right off the toe of his plant foot that time.
Yeah, that's one that you don't pick up well off the bat, especially when it was hit that hard. And the one thing you try to do is just jump out of the way up. You don't try to put your foot in the way.
Shaw has a 5-game hit streak. And CJ lifts this to right field. And Wood will take care of it. There's 2 outs.
That's the one that's in the air, folks. If you're watching, and we were talking about the sun, the high fly ball really doesn't affect you. You see the ball up, you're not having to look at the sun. It's more the line drive type ball that comes at you because the sun is setting here right over the top of the clamshell of Dish Falk Field, and that's the one that's difficult to see.
Yeah, the ones that are high, you have an opportunity to get your glove up, and you have the shades on, you have the bill of your cap, you can pick it up. Line drives are right in the sun.
Barrera with a big cut. He rarely gets cheated.
Well, the first 4 Longhorns come to the plate. Each one of them swung at the first pitch.
Well, they know the kid's going to be around the plate. He showed that with the first 2 hitters of the game. And Orange are having trouble picking it up right now, except for Colin Shaw.
Shaw had a pretty good lead over there.
One thing West Virginia will do, they will hold runners, keep them close, mix up their times, mix up their throws over, like that one.
Well, both you guys talk about the importance of not only as someone maybe trying to steal a base, but obviously the pitcher, making sure you don't get in a pattern, mixing it up.
Everything's timing. Hitting's timing, pitching's timing, base running. If you want to try to steal a base, you're trying to read the pitcher, and if you keep getting a different look every pitch, it's kind of tough to get a good break.
One to right center. We'll have to deal with that sun for a little while, but good job for the freshman in his first inning in Austin.
Aaron Shaw.
Welcome back to Austin, Texas. 1-0 West Virginia as Parker French out for his second inning of work. And as we talked before the game, in each and every game, we try to give you some of the keys to the game. And for me, Greg, I felt like West Virginia had to score 5 or 6 runs in each one of these games to find a way to win. And they're just looking at what they've done on the mound. Yes, they've had some production on the mound, but they've got to find a way to score some runs. And Donaldson, the young freshman, he really showed no nerves in that first inning. For Texas, manage the expectations. Everybody's thinking that they are the best team in the Big 12. Now we're into Big 12 to play. You got to put that away and go play the game. And don't give up those extra base runners. They did a nice job there of not allowing that second run to score in the first at Parker, and I think that's key for Texas.
And Parker French has been outstanding in that situation with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Now 0 for 10 hitters are on the year against Parker French.
Kyle Davis lead it off for the Mountaineers here in the second. Davis comes in leading the club with a .365 average. He is a freshman from Cincinnati. They've got some impressive guys who can swing the bat.
Oh, they're a very physical looking club. When you watch them take BP and come out to stretch before the end, they're big, strong. You know, we're seeing more and more of that in college baseball across the board. I think with the slot, you're seeing more guys go to college, and you're seeing more offensive guys go to college. And with the change of the baseball and the bat, we may see even more.
Now, Greg, if you see a zone that is that low and a strike is called, do you go right back to it?
I don't know if I could keep the ball that low. I mean, really, that was a low strike call right there, but Parker French can take advantage of it because he does have the good sink on the ball.
He left that one up, and it's ripped past Boswell. Davis is thinking 2 out of the box, and he's going to have a stand-up double.
got to bring your hands in, and he does a really nice job right here at the top. 2-2 pitch, fastball riding in. See his hands just drop, pull them inside right there, and let the head of the bat. His hands almost hit his belt buckle as he pulled his hands in to get to that fastball. Was he not looking for a sinker right there? He was guessing for it.
And it still ate him up, and he was able to keep the ball fair. Great job.
Brings up Casey Huth. It's the 8th double for Davis this season. He's an impressive-looking freshman.
When you watch West Virginia, Greg, you and I talked again before the game. Expect anything.
Anything.
They're an offensive club that will do a lot of different things, way to score. I think this is a bunting situation. I would be in a situation here as a coach. I'm thinking I'm going to move this guy up, try to get him in, and try to snatch another run early in the game.
He's thinking the exact same way. Cantu will go to first. Marlowe's covering, and Davis moves over. Bring the infield up.
I do early in the game. That's my, and Greg may be different. He is the second, but I think right now I'm going to try to use my sinker ball pitcher. He doesn't strike out a lot of folks, but I'm going to say, hey, hit a ground ball at one of my infielders.
Going to try to get a ground ball exactly, but sometimes when you do bring them in, that ground ball can get by them quicker than if they were playing back, but you don't want to give up another run.
Here's another big boy as he rips this foul. Sean Wood.
You know, Michael Cantu doesn't want to be playing in after that swing. Down there at first base, just beyond the bag.
Well, pull side as an infielder always was 3 or 4 steps behind the bag. I don't get all the way in, and Skip Johnson's going to make a trip out, talk to his senior right-hander at this point. Now, Greg, what are some of the things you're thinking at? If you're the pitching coach here and you're walking out, what are you thinking?
He's getting too much of the plate right now. I mean, yeah, he does have movement on it, but the ball is on the plate instead of that pitch right there. I mean, it can serve a purpose because all it was a long strike down the right field line, but they're putting good swings on the bat. Maybe move their feet a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Move their feet a little bit as a hitter. I get comfortable. My feet get settled.
Yeah.
I got a better chance to hit, no doubt.
Skip's done a great job in his 9 years on the 40.
As a hitter, I'm thinking, I've said before, Greg, I don't know if you've ever heard this from a hitter, always look fastball after a pitching coach went out.
I say it every time.
I
would say 99% of the time.
As a hitter now, you instantly step back in the box. I'm going to get a fastball.
Parker has 18 strikes and 8 balls so far. Wood has struggled, but they like his potential. Got really good hands, the coaches say. And that was a fastball. Good call, guys.
Well, it was a fastball, and Greg's right. They tried to change the outside. His Barrera that time was lined up almost out of the batter's box to the outside. Say, don't get this over the plate. Got to pitch to the corners.
Big hitters like Wood, I mean, if you make any type of mistake, that's his power zone low and in.
This is off a French, able to hold the runner and then flip it over for the second out.
I'm going to take a look.
Not sure where this caught him.
If that got glove or that's got wrist.
He's saying stay in there, stay in there, stay in there, do not come out.
Well, sure he is. He's a gamer. Right off the palm of his glove.
Have to slow that down again. I thought it might have got him up on the wrist.
Yeah. Here you go. It's still hard to tell, man. Almost caught it in the air.
He almost did. I thought he did for a second.
Wow.
Smart enough to look Davis back.
Got him in the thigh. The right thigh. What? If any place, I mean, Parker's got some nice thigh. If I wanted to get hit, it was either the thigh or the booty.
You just say Parker has some nice thighs? You mean baseball wise?
Powerful.
Okay. Because you have some nice thighs, baseball wise.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah. 0-1. This is Tucker Cascadden. Tucker had to come in, as we mentioned, as a late substitution for Sean Corso.
I'm not sure whose thighs you are talking about, but that doesn't feel good to get hit in the thigh with a liner, I can tell you.
But if you're going to get hit anywhere,
that's a good spot.
188 for Cascadden.
Lonnie Smith got me 1 year.
Oof.
Inside of my back thigh. Oof. You know why? Because I was trying to get out of the way of it.
This is another one of those points, 2 outs, runner in scoring position. And Parker's been so good in getting it done. Boy, it would be huge lift for Texas to get this out right here.
Three and one. You want to go after this guy and don't get to Taylor Munden.
Yeah, I'm coming right here with a sinker. I mean, you can throw it on the middle of the plate, let it run in. I mean, you just have to get the ball over the plate right here. You do not want Taylor Munden coming up in this situation.
3-1. Gets it. Counts full.
I don't understand. He was able to throw a strike with it. It would have been something I would call.
There's times where you have better feel for it.
Sure.
But in that situation, I don't think I'm going with my best pitch.
So you go to the breaking ball again, and you go to the sinker.
Man.
You guys always say if you throw it 3-1, you throw it 3-2. Let's see if he goes to the breaker. No, he goes with a fastball, and he hits 94, and he's fired up. Big strikeout for Parker French. Kyle Davis starts it off with a double, but French able to get out with no runs. A great evening for baseball, and Austinites have realized that and come out to the park. The Big 12 opener for both West Virginia and Texas. Good crowd out here, good atmosphere. You can smell the burgers. It's almost unfair wafting over.
Perfect weather for baseball.
Kevin Dunn, Keith Moreland, Greg Swindell.
Probably the best of the year.
I think so. Brooks Marlowe's going to lead it on.
Both teams.
Exactly.
Well, I'm sure for West Virginia it is.
Well, they've been getting snow. Randy Mazey said before the game, he said, we're just still figuring out who we are. We've been indoors so much. Connor Dotson out for a second full inning of work as you get a nice feel of what's going on at the dish. 3-game set. This is game 1. Brooks Marlowe has enjoyed playing West Virginia in his Texas career. Is he going to get another one to center? This is hard to get anything past Huff. Guys, I was watching him during BP. He made a play that, I'm going to say it, was Murray Stubbs-esque in terms of range. I thought there was no way he got there, and he got a standing O.
Well, he's one of those guys that each day he goes out, plays center field in batting practice, light game. And that's a great note for young players. If you want to be a good player during live batting practice, go play it like a game. Get the pitchers out of your way.
Boswell is going to lay down a bunt. Dotson got off the mound quickly and throws him out.
The big man showing his range off the mound, too. Right there. Brett Boswell has been known to do that a few times this year. When you're struggling sometimes at the plate, you want to see any way you can get on base. It wasn't a bad bunt, maybe a little too much towards Dotson. Does a good job of barehanding it and getting rid of it quick.
PFP, folks, it is so important.
Yeah, you're not
pitchers fielding practice.
You're not taught to pick it up bare hand, but sometimes the only thing you have to do, the runner's going to be safe.
Here's a freshman, Michael Cantu from Corpus Christi, went to Moody High, was all everything. In fact, the Texas baseball team may have better quarterbacks than the Texas football team. If you look at Ben Johnson and Michael Cantu, that's how good they were. And both guys were talked about maybe taking that route. But I think they both made the right decision.
You either get to play and nobody hits you, or you get to get hit every day. Even though most quarterbacks wear a different color uniform, especially in practice.
Yeah, they only take hits on Saturdays.
Yeah.
It's the first 2-ball count today. He's been around the plate. 3-1 to Michael Cantu. It's a 6-game hitting streak.
Look for a ball up here that you can juice. You're looking extra base hit right now. Cantu can't steal a bag. You want to get into scoring position.
That was up, 2 up. And Texas has a base runner. First one since Colin Shaw. Bring up Taylor Stell. You've kind of been busy and following Texas, but not the last week. All right, Taylor Stell's in the lineup. What's up with that, Keith?
Well, he's done a nice job in 8 games. He's driven in 6 runs, so he's doing something. Doesn't have a lot of hits, but he's been a productive hitter in this scenario. And they're still searching for that guy to fit into that DH role at this point. You get your opportunity, you have to take advantage.
He's gotten a lot stronger. Talked about some of the guys being football players. He's kind of more of a basketball player learning how to play baseball. He's a good athlete. As Keith said, do not expect Cantu to run. He's got a lot of strengths. Speed is not one of them.
Now all of a sudden we're seeing a few wrinkles. It's mound presence. A little bit different than it was in that first inning.
You got a base runner. You got a pitch from the stretch. One-run lead.
Stell gets under this after Dotson had thrown 6 straight balls. Cascadden dealing with the sun, but able to deal with it. Texas gets a runner on, can't get him home.
Big 12 baseball is the best conference out there. I think we showed that by having 3 teams in Omaha last year.
You know, there's never a series where you're going in thinking, oh, like this will be easy.
Everybody's got a solid pitching staff and a lineup that can put the bat on the ball.
That's what you sign up for coming here is the cream of the crop competition. So Big 12 baseball is where it's at.
Well, we're excited. The fans are excited. The players are excited. The Big 12 baseball is upon us. And, you know, everyone's going to back up their conference. And ACC guys are saying the same thing,
sure,
and rightfully so. But the Big 12, after sending 3 to Omaha and some of the clubs they have, they can probably have a right to say that.
I don't think it would be hard-pressed to find another conference that you could say that about. The Pac-10 plays good baseball. There's no, or the Pac-12.
Yeah.
But the SEC obviously, you know, has 5 teams ranked in the top 15 at this point. But in 2014, 3 teams from this conference did finish in the College World Series.
Well, it's impressive. So you have the bragging rights this year anyway.
Taylor Munden, one of those excellent Big 12 players you're going to see week in and week out. Every team's going to have a guy like Taylor Munden. And boy, he has gotten so much better. Coaches said it's incremental. He just kept on working his tail off, and you know, he's one of the best players in the Big 12. Facing one of the best pitchers in the Big 12. And Guys Parker in 2 innings, he's been threatened, given up a run, and also had a guy on third. You need a quick one here?
You would like a quick one. Exactly. I mean, if you even give up a base runner, you still want to have a quick inning. But Parker has been at its best with runners on in scoring position in third base. That got him right in the face.
Yeah, it did. Caught him in the nose.
A little bloody nose right there. How's that feel, Don?
That doesn't feel good at all. It comes right up. I think it caught the bill of his cap first and then came down on his nose. But it's one of those things where your eyes are going to be watering for sure when you get back into the box. And you see that a little more on an all-turf field than you would on a dirt field, even though I've seen a few hard ones, especially in Arizona in spring training, where that ball can come up pretty quickly. But that's one of them when your eyes really, you take a little time right here. It's worse than fouling one off your foot for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, because you want to see the ball to hit it. And right now, like you said, the eyes are going to be watery. Your nose is probably a little sore. Last thing you want to do is step in the box. So good job on everyone right there, making sure he's okay.
I saw Tress before they started the game off. Taylor and Tress obviously have played together and know each other because they gave a little love back and forth, and I think Tress is kind of giving that right here.
A little professional courtesy.
Yep.
When you saw Taylor at the end of the year, he really had a good last conference series. He was outstanding in Oklahoma City last year in the Big 12 tournament, and he's built on that with his summer ball and then coming back here for his senior year.
94 almost caught him.
Parker does some really good velocity tonight.
Good, really, yeah, you're right. He's usually 92, 91. Also thrown that in the mix as well, Greg.
It's good to see. Parker's going to need that. He has the cutter, the slider that he throws, but right now, I mean, you have to know what's working when you come out of that bullpen and in certain situations. And Skip Johnson and Tres Barrera and Parker understand that the curveball is the pitch for him right now, the off-speed pitch.
This is going to be a base hit back up the middle. Good at bat by Munden.
Really good approach right there. Back through the box. Right on some pitches, not swinging a lot of close pitches, and then finally got a pitch to hit out over the plate and up. Parker missed the spot by 2 feet, and that's the difference.
Trish sitting up inside, and I think they might have tried to overthink that. I would have gone back to a curveball right there. You know, Munden is going to be hacking. Get that curveball closer, a little out of the zone. Yeah, but that pitch, maybe if he hits a spot, he might get him.
Well, you talk about that. There's times you came out of the bullpen that each time you came out of the bullpen, you might have a better pitch. One of your pitches is better than the other.
It's hit hard. Boswell to second. Can they turn it? That's a big one. Well, Greg, you said even if you give up a base runner, get out of it quickly, and he's 1 out away.
Yeah, when you throw the sinker ball, your infielders have to be alert. This ball gets on Brett Boswell real quick. He's got a quick delivery to second base, but not much better in the nation out there at second base the last couple of years than Brooks Marlowe, turning 2.
They like their defense.
1 pitch, 2 outs never gets old if you're playing defense.
18th double play as Jackson Kramer steps to the plate, and Kramer singled, scored the game's only run in the first inning. He's gotten a lot better defensively, but they've been working with him at the plate because he's got so much power. Gets under that, and Ben Johnson makes the play. Parker French with a huge double play. Horns coming to bat. Welcome back. Game 1 of the 3-game set. It's Texas baseball. Kevin Dunn, Keith Moreland, Greg Swindell. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and so far the true freshman from Flower Mound went to Marcus High School, back home, his first college start, Greg, and
looking pretty good right now.
Right.
Just through 2 innings, 23 pitches, 5 out of the 6 outs have been in the air. Texas not taking very good swings. The only one, Colin Shaw, took a good swing and hit one right back at Connor Dotson, but so far no nerves, and he's getting the ball over the plate, has good velocity.
Zane Gerwitz, the 9-hole hitter. Augie told me he thinks Zane is starting to come out of it. He's been in a slump, but he looked pretty good Tuesday.
I don't think there's a question that 4 years out, his numbers are going to be good, and I think he's going to hit some balls out of the ballpark. Interesting, Greg, if you come out and you establish your fastball as we saw Connor do, and he comes out in the first 2 pitches in his 3rd inning are 2 breakables that are not even close.
You're overthinking. I think they've seen the aggressiveness that the Texas hitters have shown, going up there swinging early in counts. So if he gets those over, I mean, they obviously work, but overthinking right there. Your best pitch right now is that fastball, and the Texas hitters still aren't hitting it.
He went with a 2-0. 2-1. This is to right. Gerwitz, when he's going well, is going to right. But Wood is there, and there's 1 down.
A good location that time out over the plate, but it had a little movement, just a little bit of cut. I call it a run, and you just get it right off of the barrel. Instead of hitting on the sweet spot of the barrel, you catch it out, and in the end, the ball just dies. It goes the opposite way.
It doesn't take much to get off the barrel of that bat.
6 flyouts. The first 6 hitters, Dotson only had 4 balls. The last 3 hitters, he's had 8 balls. So we'll see as he works through the second time of the Texas lineup. This is Ben Johnson, who popped out to second base.
Well, Ben more a good reason to throw a first pitch breaking ball than Zane Gerwitz. Ben's going to go up there swinging. He's not taking too many pitches.
2-0. Texas only with 1 hit. That was Colin Shaw back in the first.
I'm letting him hit right here.
Oh, no doubt, because he can get you a quick one.
He can.
He's going to go to right. Wood, and it gets over his head. He just misread it. Johnson on his way to second. We'll see if they give him a double, but guys, was that the sun or was that just misjudging it?
Well, it's a little bit of both for me. I'm sure he didn't see it as well. The shadow is deeper, but it gets right here. He's looking into that sun. The ball's coming out of that shade. That ball took off on him, though. Oh, yeah. It jumped on him. He just did not anticipate the ball having the kind of carry that it had on it. I would give it a double and an extra base hit.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he had to go back on the ball. It would have been a great play if he did catch it. But you saw him. He did leave the shade, and his height put him up into the sun right at the last minute, and the ball gets over his head.
It is a double. Third in the country with 34 hits. He's got really good speed, and then you got the double machine, Colin Shaw up. This is a good chance for Texas to tie this ball game up. 1-0.
Now not pitching ahead as well as he did. The hitters are starting to get a little more patient. He's not pounding the zone as he was early, as we just gave you some of the numbers.
It just shows you the importance of getting ahead of hitters. I mean, he fell behind Ben Johnson 2-0. Gerwitz 2, but came back and made 2 good pitches. But on hitters like Ben Johnson, you fall behind, they're going to put the bat on the ball, as will Colin Shaw.
Been great with runners in scoring position. 2-0, and Keith, it really started with the walk to Cantu. He just has not been as sharp.
Well, the emotion, I'll refer to Greg a little bit here, but the emotion of pitching, you get so keyed up, it takes you about 20 minutes to warm up. You're probably warm after about 10 pitches because you're emotionally charged to get a start. It's a warm day, then you get out, you get into the flow of the game, and then all of a sudden that adrenaline collapses a little bit.
Well, Greg was actually watching, and after this pitch, he's going to let you know when Connor started warming up because the starting pitcher was obviously looking for it. 2-0, so 6 o'clock, 6:05 first pitch.
6:05 first pitch, and Connor Dotson was out there at 5:20. Not throwing, but he was out there doing his arm work, and he would do a few arm exercises and then go sit down and get a cup of water. Go out, do some more arm exercise, get a cup of water. So I wave hi to a couple, maybe family members that are here, friends. So
this game could not have started early enough for him.
Right.
Didn't start warming up till throwing until 5:45, which, you know, you're the visiting team, so 6:05 start. Still going to have another 5 or 6, maybe longer.
Guys, last 18 pitches, Dotson has thrown 13 balls and 5 strikes.
Just not relying on the fastball again. He's starting to use the changeup a little bit. He hasn't found a feel for the slider or the cutter as much.
3-1 pitch.
Pretty good location right there.
Wasn't the velocity, Greg. You're absolutely right. Tied him up inside. Shaw swung over the top of it, in on his hands.
Matt Locke talking to him before the game. He says that Dotson has gone 70 pitches twice out of the bullpen this year, so he's going to be out there. And he said if they can get him to 70, that'll be a victory.
The right field would a lot more comfortable with this one. Johnson will hold, and there's 2 outs.
Made 2 good pitches when he needed to right there.
Yeah, that's reaching back. That's what they say, reaching back and get a little bit more. And like you said, not so much the velocity. The velocity was 88, 89 miles an hour, but the pitches were in. They were good location. They weren't out over the plate for Colin Shaw, able to extend on it.
Johnson at second.
I can't believe the umpire is not changing. If we'll see the front of his uniform, that white underneath his uniform, because it's come unbuttoned, I wouldn't like that as a hitter. I would have to say something and say, hey, you got to, he can't have a different color uniform on.
He's a freshman. He might be a lot of things can happen out there.
Sure, I would make him button his uniform top.
There's CJ Hinojosa. Big opportunity for CJ, who has struggled early on in his junior year, his draft year. Chance to get a much needed ribby.
It's covered up there. You can't see it from the hitter right now.
2-0. Go to a fastball here?
I think you have to. Even if you challenge him and you give up a hit, it's just still 1-1. You don't want to fall behind 3-0 or walk CJ with 2 outs.
Keep it in the ballpark.
Exactly.
It's 5th straight 2-0 count.
Pretty big ballpark. I'll take my chances on letting him put it in play.
It's the call, 2-1. Crowd doesn't like it.
That was right at the top of the zone. This is the pitch on both sides. As a hitter right here, this might be the best pitch of the at-bat to hit.
Both sides want to make it happen here.
Yep.
Connor Dotson from Flower Mound, a true freshman. This is his first career collegiate start, and he's making it in Austin.
Another good fastball in. Ball ran in on CJ. Took a good swing at it, but location, location, location.
Pitching's like real estate. That's what Augie always says. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ben Johnson at second. It's going to run full.
It's going to catch up to him, though, if he cannot throw his breaker ball for a strike. And I have not seen one in the ball game to this point.
You have to, until you can get ahead of hitters 0-2, 1-2, where you can throw them out of the zone. You're going to have to get those breaking balls over the plate in order for them to be effective. I mean, right now they serve no purpose.
Barrera on deck. This ball's hit to left. Going back, going back, going back, off the wall. Johnson will come home. We're tied. Hinojosa's on his way to third. What a big hit for CJ. He needed that.
In my opinion, it's all about the fact the inability to throw a breaking ball for a strike. And as a hitter, you're setting on fastball. It's the 5th fastball of the at-bat that CJ had seen. This time he gets good extension on top of it. I thought he got enough to get it out of here, but it is up against the wall. Great effort. Couldn't come up with it. The triple ties the ball game. To me, it's all about the inability to throw a breaking ball for a strike right there.
Because if you can get that breaking ball over earlier in the count, you don't get to 3-2. And you talked about just keep the ball in the park. He barely kept it in the park right there.
Brad Johnson, the left fielder, did a good job as Trace Barrera going to get underneath this one. Johnson will give way to the shortstop, Munden. Texas strands CJ at third, but CJ able to tie the game up with a triple. We played 3. We're tied.
When I was younger.
Welcome back. Third of the way through it, and we are tied at 1. Kevin Dunn alongside Keith Moreland, Greg Swindell. I asked for my 3-man booth, and I got my 3-man booth for Big 12 play. I wanted my 2 All-Americans, so we're going to start maybe a little hitting here. Is this what you expected to see offensively in this game?
I did. When you talk about the beginning of Big 12 play, emotions play involved in it, are very much involved in it. And I think now we're a third of the way in. Both teams are tied. We've seen some guys probably go outside of their comfort zone at this point. I think you'll settle in now for the rest of the day, maybe the rest of the weekend. But it's pretty much what I thought. Parker overthrowing a little bit. I'm not the pitching expert, but I felt like he was probably overthrowing a little bit. And the young freshman inability to throw a strike with his breaker ball, the difference.
Exactly. I mean, you hit it right on right there. Parker able to get first pitch of the inning over right there. So that's good to see. But yeah, Parker been 94 miles an hour. The fastball is flattened out. Able to let the West Virginia hitters put a few good swings on it and get the 1 run. And the freshman on the other side, Connor Dotson, exactly. The ineffectiveness or the inability to get the breaking ball over the plate pretty much at any time has hurt him.
Brad Johnson swinging at the first pitch, and a nice short hop play by Boswell. 1 pitch, 1 out. 2 pitches, 2 outs as Hinojosa throws out Cam O'Brien. All right, guys, we said earlier that, we said if you have a pitching visit, you're going to 99%, 95% sure you get a fastball. 99% sure he's taking here?
Well, put it this way. If I'm managing at any level, the guy swings at the next pitch, he'll be set beside me. If it's in pro ball, I'm going to take money out of his pocket.
I'm going to say 100%.
Wow.
That he's taking.
You got to take a pitch.
Well, it's their best hitter. It's Kyle Davis, who doubled. And he's taking a strike.
He knew he was going to be fined.
So pro ball, they take money out of your pocket?
Oh, they'll fine you.
If you miss a sign or if you, I mean, there's a lot of things.
Wow.
In college, a lot of times what you do is you might say, young man, you can come over here and watch with me a little while. In college ball, in pro ball, they'll just say, that costs you X amount of dollars, usually 100.
Texas fans wanted that pitch.
The breaking ball, the 1-4, a little up in the zone. I wouldn't have thought. You don't want to keep it there if you're a pitcher. I'm just saying that.
Right.
Get the ball down.
Davis, a good-looking freshman from Cincinnati. This is nice stab by Parker French. The quick flip over. 1, 2, 3. You know he's dealing when you're getting ground balls. Welcome back. We're tied at 1 here in Austin. The offense has looked completely different, really in a lot of places in college baseball, but certainly here in Austin. You take a look at last season and then this season. I love this graphic. I think it's really cool, but it really shows you how much this offense has changed.
Well, I think it's changed all across college baseball because of the change in the baseball itself. But for Texas, this is a better offensive club. I mean, there's just across the board, it's a better offensive club.
Looks Marlowe going to lead it off. It's underneath this. This has some carry to it, but as we said earlier, if Huth can get there, he's going to get there. He is some of the best range you're going to see in college baseball.
Fly ball outs.
405.
Well, it's a great ballpark to pitch in, as you well know.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, a fastball up and away, hit it hard as you want to.
There's Brett Boswell. Boswell been struggling a little bit. Had a nice Tuesday where he had a couple doubles and looked like maybe he was coming out of that. Keith, I know you've talked a little bit about lunging, and you always say when guys are struggling offensively, they try to see the baseball as quick as they can.
They get their eyes open. Their front shoulder comes open. They try to get both eyes on the ball. They rush to hit instead of being relaxed to hit.
And with Brett Boswell, it's hard to tell if he's rushing or relaxed.
Yeah, he always looks.
He's got the same demeanor.
Right. Which I think will help in baseball, in a sport that has that much failure.
You think?
I would think so.
Wow. I'm meaning that exactly in a good way.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't let this game get to you. Because once you think you're on top of the mountain, it's going to kick you right off.
Is that the change there? Because we haven't seen the change a lot today.
It was up in the zone. It was a very hittable pitch. Ebb and flow. You cannot get too high in the highs and too low in the lows.
One, two. Underneath it. Ranging over. A lot of fly ball outs today for Texas. And what does that indicate to you?
Well, it's a fastball pitcher, and they're having a tough time getting on top of it. They're underneath every one of them. And you just look at it for Dobson. He's only got one ground ball out recorded, has not recorded a strikeout. And coming into the game, had 15 strikeouts and 9 innings of work, but he has 10 fly ball outs. But good ballpark to pitch in for fly balls.
And the ground ball was a bunt back to him.
You're right. By Brett Boswell.
He has it at such a good angle. I mean, his fastball has some life when it's up, but it's on such a good angle going down towards the hitter that it is tough. It's tough to put a level swing on it or stay on top of it. You get under those pitches. It's the toughest pitch. And now if he learns to put a little sink with that angle, that's going to make it even tougher as he grows as a pitcher in college.
He's been impressive so far. Even when he kind of lost his getting ahead in counts in the middle innings, he's been able to come back.
Yeah, actually, he had 5 hitters in a row where he really was struggling, couldn't get his fastball ahead for strike one. He still hasn't thrown a breaking ball for me for a strike other than one that was swung at, that was upstairs. He hadn't thrown a good one for a call strike.
He chases that one, does Cantu, and gets a strikeout. It's been a well-pitched game. We'll talk with Augie when we get back. Welcome back. Tied at 1, game 1 of the 3-game set between West Virginia and Texas. Joining us now is UT's head coach, Augie Garrido.
Coach, one of the things that you've talked to us so many times about is controlling your emotions. I thought Parker did a really good job of that in the first inning to only allow the 1 run. Since then, he's been in control of the ballgame.
Well, good observation. I thought it took a lot for him to get out of those 2 innings, and he's been on top of the last 6 hitters. So I think that the game is faster tonight than it was on Tuesday, and it's catching everybody by surprise.
And, Coach, it's good to see C.J. put a good swing on and get that triple and get the run in.
Absolutely. He's been working hard. He's taking a lot of extra cuts and stuff like that, and he's going to turn this thing around.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's out here. I was out here yesterday for a while, and they stretch at 3 o'clock till 2:59. He was out there in the cage and then picking up the ball. So they're putting the work in. They all do. But sometimes when you're struggling a little bit, you want to try to put that extra work in. Sometimes it's good just to get away from it a little bit.
You know, I totally agree with you. There are times when you're creating a deeper habit because you're doing something wrong. You're better off saying just walk away. But there was many times, Greg, that I said, I'm not swinging well. I'm not even taking BP. I'm in the lineup. I'm just going to go to the plate, go back to the things I used to do.
Many of us treat golf that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've quit golf for 8 months.
I've quit for years at a time, I think.
And this is Casey Huth. We've talked about how good Casey is in center. He's coming around offensively. Actually was out all fall because he had a broken wrist. He's been making some adjustments offensively. But he's worth the price of admission to go see him flag it down in center. And the velo continues to be high. 94 again, Greg.
Yeah, that one's up. And that's exactly what Parker French wanted to do. He had him 0-2 and went down out of the zone with a breaking ball. And this pitch here just rides up. I mean, a good pop on the fastball. You want that when the pitch is up. When it's down, it's not going to sink as much. But when it's up like that, it's tougher to catch up.
Do you change a little bit, Greg, on your grip there if you're looking for something to sail a little bit if you're a sinker ball pitcher?
Normally, a sinker ball, it's like a two-seamer.
Yes.
Yeah, when you go to the ball that you want to ride, it's more of a four-seamer.
Yeah.
Sean Wood, the right fielder, is up. Grounded back to Parker French and took a lot off on that. Pulled the string.
Straight change by Parker French. See this right here. The bottom's going to drop out of it right as it gets to the plate, and a big swing by the lefty.
0-2. You can go to a lot of stuff here and waste one.
That one just slipped out of his hand. I don't think he wanted it that far out of the zone. You go, Bart, whatever the pitch was going to be, look like maybe a backdoor breaking ball. I go right back to it. Maybe that changeup again.
Short. Hossa.
A little bit of an odd hop that time to CJ. He was in position to try to play it, and he had to really cross-hand a little bit. It did take an odd hop on him. Sometimes coming off the turf, the spin. Watch this second hop right here, folks, and he's going whoop, and then it just scoots up on him. He has to actually nearly underhand that ball.
What do you call it? Squirrel trapping it?
Squirrel trapping it, yeah, and he used his right hand.
I think he's still thinking about that triple. The timing was off. Something happened right there.
2 outs. Tucker Cascadi. Cascadden is struck out. As we mentioned, Tucker, not a real easy thing. He's a freshman from Houston, and he did not know if he'd be starting. Unfortunately, the usual second baseman, Sean Corso, is sick. He's at the hospital in Austin right now and is getting fluid. So if he's watching, obviously, Sean, get better, and we hope to see you out here for game 2 and 3. But it's a good opportunity for this freshman from Houston.
Yeah, sometimes if you don't know you're going to play, it's better for you because you don't have the nerves beforehand. Oh, I am playing?
Especially as a freshman.
Yeah.
It's not been easy for this West Virginia lineup. 7 straight batters retired.
This is as fluid, Greg, and I'll refer to you here, defer to you. This is as fluid as I've seen Parker this season. I mean, his mechanics look really good.
He works like hitters work in the cage and working on the breaking ball this game right there. That's a good pitch by Parker French. 8 in a row.
8 in a row. Beautiful breaking ball. We're going to talk with Randy Mazie when we get back.
He never.
Back here in Austin, West Virginia fans, a couple of them have made the trip, and why not? It's a beautiful day for baseball. Big 12 opener for both programs. West Virginia's had some nice success against Texas. They were actually 4-2 all time, all those meetings in the Big 12. Kevin Dunn, Keith Moreland, Greg Swindell, excited to have a 3-man booth, and now excited to talk with head coach Randy Mazie.
Coach, one of the things that I would like to talk to you about is with the weather that y'all been involved in, what are some of the things that you work on when you get a beautiful day like today?
Our suntan.
Yeah.
That's about all we can do. We hadn't played in a game this warm all season.
Coach, don't want to keep you long, but you have to be impressed with your freshman on the mound.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, we say baseball's a game of inches. We've had 2 balls hit our outfielders' gloves, and they've hit our pitcher with a line drive and got a hit out of it, and we hit their pitcher, and they got an out. That was a big play in the game. We could have gone up 2-0 in the second inning there. But that's baseball.
Coach, let's let your kid pitch here. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
That's pretty talented right there, giving pitches and talking to the interview at the same time.
Well, Taylor Stell's going to beat this out. That was pretty talented, but that was going to be a tough play for Connor.
You see Connor Dotson right there pounding his chest to the third baseman. Justin Fox right there saying, my bad, I should have let you have it. But that's when communication comes in right there. Maybe Connor didn't hear him or whatever the reason was. That's obviously easier play for the third baseman.
Well,
right
Fox
there.
has got to have he's got to be screaming, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. You've got to communicate. That communication you can very easily could turn into a run right now with leadoff base runner. I would think the bunt in order here for Texas.
Woods gets the bunt down. A diving effort Gurwitz is going to beat it out. Kramer came in, tried to catch it on the fly, then slid, and it got away from him.
Well, he made the effort to try to get it in the air, and then he panicked. And that's exactly what happens to you at times. You panic, and when you try to make an effort, he would have been much better off to lay back on this. He might have got the out at second base if he lays back and plays the hop. Instead, he tries to get it in the air, and then he can't come up with it. When you miss it and you go that first time, what did you say? Go with your glove in your hand earlier, Greg. Yeah, and you didn't.
He did try to catch it in the air, and once that happened, like you said, he panicked, didn't grab the ball the first time. But if he lets it drop, Taylor still had to see if it was going to be caught first. So if he lets that ball drop, he might have had a chance at second, but it's going to be a sacrifice by Gurwitz and an E3.
Yes, sir. Ben Johnson swinging, line drive, going to second, and they double him up. Cascadden ranging to his left, and what looked like was going to be a big inning, now 2 outs.
That's a chance you take right there. You got your leading hitter up at 440 coming into the game. He hits the ball well. I mean, West Virginia had a play on his second base, and Connor Dotson throws the ball in. Ben Johnson just gets a laser to second. Great play out there by Cascadden and a good stretch.
Here's Stell.
Yeah, that move right there cost him. You know, he thought the ball was by him. He stopped immediately, and if he'd have just stopped there and then made the ball clear, instead of taking that extra step toward third, he would have had an opportunity to get back in time. Boy, it changes the complexion of the inning, no doubt.
Completely does.
Well, I'm thinking now Gurwitz, Zane might have to try to get second base here. I know Colin Shaw's up. He's going to swing the bat well, but you need to get the runner in scoring position where you just had him on a great defensive play by West Virginia.
And that's a part of Texas's game that they haven't got going yet. This team's got some good speed. They just haven't got the running game involved at this point of the year.
8 of 15, and a lot of those have been getting picked off. Not just thrown out. They've got speed, but they've really had some, as Augie said, boneheaded decisions on the base paths. Something they need to clean up, something we talked about on Tuesday. Well, Greg, what does that feel like when you give up a line shot and you're turning around thinking, all right, so I got to go back up home plate. It's going to be 1-0 or one more run, and then it's going to be no outs, and you turn around and you got 2 outs.
So your first instinct is exactly that. You're like, oh no, and then you turn around and go, oh yeah. First guy you should go to coming off the field should be Tucker Cascadden. Give him a pat on the back.
Gurwitz thought about it. But it's 3-0 now to Shaw, and you got Hinojosa on deck, who has the only RBI for Texas today. A triple back in the third that was about a foot away from going out.
They might be real careful here with Colin. Even though CJ did get the hit last time, you'll have the righty-righty matchup right after.
3-0's in there. You're running 3-1 here?
I am.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the kid's he's struggled with his breaking ball. You know there's going to be a fastball. If he swings through it and gets thrown out, it's okay, so to speak. So Colin Shaw will lead off the next inning, but Colin Shaw's been swinging the bat well.
West Virginia thinking the same thing.
Well, my theory is already 3-1, 3-2, 2 outs, I'm running. If I'm first and second, I'm stealing third in as well. But a man on first for sure. I'm putting him in motion here.
He's not going, and it's ball 4.
There's always a crucial point in every ball game. We may have seen it with the double play ball in this inning, but this is the biggest at bat of the ball game by either side. As an offensive player, this is when you've got to take advantage if you're Texas.
Christopher Jesse Hinojosa goes by CJ, 1 for 2. Talked about that triple to get his average up to 210. Gurwitz at second. Shaw is at first. We are tied at 1. And a good ball game for the Big 12 opener.
Well, he worked to a 3-2 count his last time and got a fastball. I'm disregarding a breaking ball of any kind as a hitter right now. I'm looking fastball every pitch.
So I'm pitching. I'm thinking if I can get this breaking ball around the plate, I'm going to get you out.
It's a good chance.
I love getting into the back and forth of the hitter and the pitcher here.
That was a pretty good pitch right there.
It was
tough pitch to take.
CJ laid off of it like he knew there was not going to be a strike.
Well, obviously, like you're saying as well, he's looking for number one. He's going to let him. If he gets the breaking ball over, he gets it over.
So if you see spin, you just spit on it?
Take it.
All right.
Yeah.
2-0. This could be a dangerous pitch coming up for the freshman. Outfield is deep. Bottom part of the zone and gets the call.
Well, he's been calling that one.
It's been consistent. That's all you ever ask for. It's a low strike zone, so we've known it since the first inning.
Yeah, a tough pitch to hit. So
you take that.
Well take it, yeah.
I'm looking something at the belt buckle. Tension is just a little different right now.
You can feel it in the stadium. Breaking ball misses. Well, it seems like both you guys are right. He's like, if I can just get the breaking ball over, and Keith's saying, well, if I see it, I'm not swinging at it.
Just hasn't proved that he can throw it for a strike enough. You know, he threw the one to Cantu. It was a good time, but he was ahead in the count with it.
The best one he's thrown around the plate was to CJ and didn't get the call.
Yes.
3-1 to third. Go to second, and he dropped it. Well, Cascadden had the biggest catch of the inning and now has the biggest drop of the inning. We'll see if Texas can make him pay.
Just anticipated the throw being good. Sometimes you can't anticipate this throw being a good throw. He came to the bag and just didn't anticipate the throw was going to be offline, took his eye off of it, watch him try to get his right foot back on the bag as he was crossing over there, and he was trying to drag that right foot, and because of it, he took his eye off the ball.
Yeah, maybe a timing thing, maybe got there early, then the throw off the bag, just took his eye off of it.
He's an E4.
Now, big opportunity for Texas if they can take advantage of this right here, especially with your 4-hole hitter up. Tress right here does not have to get over anxious. Does not have to get over anxious. Last at bat after CJ got the triple, first pitch, he pulled off a little bit and hit a lazy fly ball to deep short that Munden caught. Right now, Trace needs to be a little more selective, and you can be if you want to use the entire field. Trace has been known to hit the ball to right center, to the right side a lot.
Is that your approach here, Keith?
I'm going right center. I'm looking fastball out of the plate. Not going to pull off of it.
0 for 2. Bases loaded. And he gets one over.
It's the breaker over right there. This kid's showing a lot. I mean, he's sticking with the process. He's thrown the ball, a few good breaking balls, but not for strikes. And that one right there, the biggest breaking ball of the game for him.
1-1.
Well, it changes you as a hitter. Oh, I took one for a strike.
Now he can get it over.
Yeah.
And I would think he would do it again right here.
It calls for it.
Bases are full. It's underneath this. This is going to be playable in left center. Ranging over is Huth. And West Virginia gets out of it. The freshman loads him up. But Texas can't get anyone home. Be sure to tune in to LHN Saturday as Texas will host West Virginia in Game 2 of this series. Game 2 begins tomorrow at 5 Central on Longhorn Network, and also watch ESPN. All starters for West Virginia are from the state of Texas, all 3 of them, and we're going to see Ross Vance, who we've seen before from McKinney, tomorrow, and then Chad Donato from Cypress is going to go on Sunday.
We're seeing what the freshmen can do tonight. Ross Vance dealt against the Longhorns last year up in at West Virginia.
Yes.
The kid Donato, only 2 1/3 innings last year, but he's really turned his game around this year. Good fireball, good fastball pitcher. Only 1 walk and 17 strikeouts on the season.
1, 2, and 3 for West Virginia after getting some momentum defensively. This is a big inning here.
Well, I've really felt that was the biggest offensive inning for Texas, really to have a chance to separate themselves. And sometimes that jump starts the opponent.
TJ backhand long throw, and is not going to be able to make it. Munden is going to go to second with the throw, and a good start for the Mountaineers.
That's great hustle with the senior right there. I got to give him a lot of credit. He left home plate thinking this is going to be a base hit. And for CJ's, he gets in a hole here, has to come off balance, has to try to go. I don't think he gets him regardless. I'd call it a base hit and an error for me. And the error is the only reason it's an error because the ball scooted into the dugout.
Able to advance to second base. Yeah, with abundant speed, he was going to beat that out. Michael Cantu, maybe in that situation, needs to come off the base a little bit sooner, recognize that the runner's going to beat the throw and block that ball as he would behind the plate.
Single and an E6. We'll see if Justin Fox is bunting here. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Fox is the most improved player at the plate. He's added a little power.
He's hit 2 balls on the button. One of them was a double play ball. There was a rocket to Boswell in third his last time up.
Boswell thinking about that, but also thinking about a bunt. This is popped up, but it's down. And the throw over, no one's covering. This is going to bring home the second run for West Virginia. And Fox will stop at second.
Again, a situation where Boswell gets to the ball and it makes a good throw to first base. But as you see right here, as he throws the ball, he's going to look up, and Michael Cantu is right in the way. So he doesn't know if Michael Cantu's on the bag or if who's covering the bag right there. The throw is there. His throw was really to Michael Cantu. But it gets by Brooks Marlowe, and I think Texas catches a break right there with the runner.
Fox should have, he had second or third.
Had second easily, but I'm thinking he could have made third on that one.
I agree.
But you don't want to make that first out over there.
Not
either.
the first out, but the communication right there is Cantu trying to get back to the bag. If you're committed to charge, go ahead and get out of the way in that scenario and let Brooks Marlowe get there and cover and get out of the way. He was just trying to hustle. That was a hustle mistake, trying to get back in a little bit of confusion and not knowing where to throw the baseball.
Jackson Kramer going oppo here. Ben Johnson chasing it, and it's just foul.
Well, as Boswell attacks here from our high 22, great camera work, guys. As he comes in, he comes up. He's not sure where he's going. It's because Cantu's trying to hustle back to the bag. If Michael will just keep on charging, even though he's out of the way, because Marlowe knows he's got to be there to cover.
Right.
That's his job. So then that gives the third baseman one view to throw, one guy to throw to, and not a little confusion. He sort of threw it amongst them that time. That's what happens to you when you see 2 guys.
Yeah, you look up. Michael Cantu's big enough to probably blocking Brooks Marlowe's his whole body there.
He may be on the ground, but he's still 6'3", 237.
Big man.
1-1 count on Kramer, who's 1 for 2.
Your point, Kevin, of defensive inning changes the momentum of the game.
He does his job as he rolls it over and will advance the runner. There's 1 out. Now Texas can get some momentum back if you can strand this runner with less than 2 outs at third.
Parker's been pretty good at it this year. Runners in scoring position.
Well, the infield will have to come up here. 6th inning, got to cut it off if you can.
Brad Johnson.
Batters below 200 against Parker on the year, with less than 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
And Parker, not a big strikeout guy, but has the capability of striking you out. He needs one right here.
It's a big one.
Johnson has an RBI.
Parker's still trying to come inside with that fastball and unable to get it in there. Trace set up outside and the ball back over the middle of the plate, just low.
Having a tough time getting it to glove side.
Good pitch.
Good breaking ball right there.
1-2. Well, guys, this game has not been as clean. First 35 batters, no errors. Last 8 batters, 4 errors combined.
Only 1 run produced out of it, though, at this point.
One, 2, and this gets past Marlowe. It'll bring home the 3rd run for West Virginia. It's a game of inches, guys.
Really nice piece of hitting right here. Going to give all the credit in the world to Johnson on a breaking ball. The ball was up a little bit in the zone, but he didn't think pull right here. It was almost like, I'm going to get a breaking ball. Just reaches out, makes sure he gets, you know, his eyes down on the ball and gets it on the barrel of the bat. And Marlowe just can't come up with the diving catch.
Almost like he was just trying to put the ball in play.
Lob it. Yeah.
Cam O'Brien, the catcher, now up. He's 0 for 2. Struck out in the first and grounded C.J. Hinojosa back in the fourth. Does not have as many at-bats as some of the other guys. Could this be 2, 4, 6, 3? Yes, Texas gets out of it, but West Virginia gets 2 and takes the lead. Welcome back. A little pep talk in the Texas dugout provided by Augie Garrido after West Virginia gets 2 runs in the top of the 6th inning. It's been a little sloppy. Texas with a couple errors. Greg, you've coached with him. What exactly is that conversation about?
I think, again, it's more of staying mentally tough after you just left the bases loaded in the inning before when you were hitting. A good opportunity to take the lead right there. Then you go out and you play sloppy defense and let a team score 2 runs. Keeping the mental edge, and especially now since all that has happened, you have to really stay mentally tough for the rest of the game. 5, 6, and 7 due up. Marlowe, Boswell, and Cantu. Brooks rips this, but it's going to be foul. He was knocking on Rudy's door there. We want him to knock on the Taco Shack bullseye, because where's we want to figure out you get some free tacos. Exactly.
Greg, it's interesting. The point you were just making, so many times as a coach, you want to settle everybody back down. Slow it down if you can. And that's why you have those kind of meetings.
When things start happening like that, I mean, being a pitcher, when a team starts to play like that behind you, you're going to lose your concentration. You're going to be like, my defense doesn't want to play for me. Oh, my offense doesn't want to score runs. So, yeah, keeping everybody on the same page.
Just foul. Nice job by the first baseman there, Kramer, to try and jump at that. He's 6'6". If it gets over his head.
Like a cross-court lob right there.
It was.
Caught it a little bit on the end of the bat. Good time to come right back and answer, though.
For 4 through 6 hitters for Texas are 0 for 7 with 6 flyouts.
Greg, I would ask you, you come back out, you're a young pitcher, you've had a lead, but now you have a 2-run lead is a lot different than a 1-run lead.
And getting out of the inning with the bases loaded after an error showed a lot of poise, a lot of mound presence for that young man. And now your team's going to answer that with 2 runs. I mean, you got all the confidence in the world out there.
2-2.
And he's still making the inside pitches to lefties. Colin Shaw, we saw earlier in the game, he made a couple of good pitches, and this at bat, he's made 4 or 5 to Brooks. So if he just had the confidence in that changeup right now, because he has him pulling, if he could get that changeup low and away.
Fastball upstairs, counts full. Brooks has really worked this at bat. True freshman on the hill from Flower Mound, Texas. His first collegiate start.
You're right. His best pitch has been a glove side fastball. That's where he's had good command of. He hasn't been able to get the arm side away from the left-hander into the right-hander near as well as he has been able to get that ball in on the lefties of Texas.
It's like when he's trying to go in to the lefties, he just keeps that front side in, keeps it in longer. Takes it toward his target. When he's going away, he's just flying open with it.
Fly ball to right. Going back. It's carrying, and it's gone. Didn't hit the taco sign, but it gets Texas to within 1.
That's a good solid at bat right there, folks. He fouled off 4 or 5 pitches, finally got a ball out over the plate, gets extension. Wasn't sure he got enough. It had a good sound to it, but I just didn't know if it had enough carry, and it just gets up and gets out of the ballpark. Boy, that changes answer. I mean, even if it's just one, but you answered, change the momentum right there.
Momentum just shifted. Bullpen knew it.
Yeah.
The ball was halfway out there, and they were already fired up.
And look who caught it.
Did Ty catch it again?
His older brother, Ty, caught
his last 2 homers.
His last 2 homers. A great shot.
As a pitcher, when that ball took off the bat, I knew. You can just tell the trajectory of the ball when it takes off. And the prior at bats in this game, Brooks had taken some good swings. Look at brother here. So that guy, he called everybody off. No gloved it, caught it in the hat.
Now he's checking to see if his hat's okay.
Yeah, he may have to go to Vinny Alcazar, the equipment manager, and get a new hat right now. 2-1 to Boswell.
Brooks had hit the ball good, just hooked the outside pitches a little bit towards center field. That one right there, was down the middle of the plate, and he hammered it.
Surprised we're not seeing anybody up in the West Virginia bullpen.
Can they go back to back? This is to right center. I don't think this has the carry. It does not. And at the warning track, it's not a great spot to hit it in this field.
No. Anywhere in the gaps in center field. Better keep it low on the line. Put it up in the air. There's a lot of ground to cover out there, and Huff does a good job of doing that for West Virginia.
Yeah. You want a center fielder like Huff if you're going to play in this ballpark. Cliff did it forever. Augie, you go recruit yourself a fast center fielder and sometimes get 3 of them and let them go roam. Michael Cantu up. Cantu walked in the second, struck out, chased a breaking ball. One of the few breaking balls that Dotson has been able to at least get someone to chase at. It wasn't a strike, but Cantu thought it was.
He's had success with the pitch to Michael Cantu, so he feels comfortable with it right now against this hitter. I think he would go right back to it, maybe out of the zone. Ooh, that fastball right in the ground.
That 85 pitches. This is his first career start in college. He has pitched, though, out of the bullpen for the first month. That was a good pitch to hit.
One thing it showed me, though, he is not afraid to throw his fastball. I mean, he shook that time twice to get to it.
He has a good one. That one right there, again, not the glove side. It ran in to Michael Cantu, tied him up.
Outside, counts full. You talked about slowing it down, and 2 of the 3 at-bats so far have been patient, calm at-bats.
You're right. Don't force the action.
Upstairs, and the crowd appreciates the at-bat. Second walk for Cantu.
Bring Derek Matlock out.
And someone's starting to get loose down there. Just starting to. There's number 36, Blake Smith. He is a junior from Tyler, Texas. Went to Howard College.
Has struggled with his commands. Got good stuff. He's walked 11 and struck out 11.
Well, Randy Mazie told me before the game, I know he told it to you guys as well, look, our issue has been the bullpen. And they thought the whole pitching staff would be, as he said, it could have been a nightmare, but they've had some freshmen like Dotson really step up and not show the nerves that a lot of freshmen do. So he said, we're still trying to figure out the bullpen.
Well, it's one of the toughest things at any level to try to figure out your bullpen. Yeah, at the big league level, you already know guys' roles, but how to manage a bullpen is one of the toughest things in baseball to do.
Yeah, just when to get guys up, when not to get guys up. When a guy hadn't had enough action, do you get him in even though it's not his role or spot?
Some guys pitch better down 1 run. than they do when they're ahead 1 run. You've seen that too.
Here's Stell. There's a single. Next is 1 for 9 with runners on today. K2 not a threat to run. One and one.
Well, he stayed with his breaking ball, even though it hasn't been a good one tonight. That's not what he's been able to do, but he's throwing it more here in the last 3 or 4 frames than he did early in the game.
It's gotten better. It has more depth to it right now than it did earlier in the game.
High pop up. This Catton's going to call everyone off and make the play. There's 2 outs. Well, Texas is getting under a lot of baseballs today here, guys.
That's a good angle and good life. I mean, there's just, we talked about the polar opposites with Parker French and Connor Dotson at the beginning of the game, but now we've seen it with ground balls by Parker French, pop flies by Connor Dotson.
Here's Zane Gerwitz. Tried to sacrifice last time up. It was an error that allowed him to get on. Also, breaking ball. He's getting a better feel for that now.
That was a first pitch curveball. That one looked more of like a slider.
It did.
It didn't have as much depth on it. Just think how effective he could have been the whole game if he had got those pitches over. He's pitched a great game so far.
And Cantu did not get a good read on that, but it got far enough away from O'Brien that he can't get down to second.
Overthrew that breaking ball that time. Said, I'm not going to make a mistake up. I'm going to make sure it's down. Really difficult as a catcher right there. You get down to try to block it. Came up off his shoulder, even though he was down in a block position.
Well, that one hit so far out in front.
Yeah, you know, you're guessing.
Right.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Big chance right here.
It's low. He's had a low zone, but not that low.
I'm on the mound. I'm going back to the breaking ball. You have a good feel for it right here. Maybe even back-to-back if you miss with the first one.
I'm looking at both of you. You caught, you pitched, and both of you say, yep. Throw it 2-2, you go 3-2. Did he go? No. All right, let's see what he comes with here.
He's been more effective with the more loopy breaking ball. Those, the ones he's missing with right now are the tighter ones, a slider pitch. It's not, that was a good feel for it.
Is he getting tired here, a true freshman? 97 pitches?
97 pitches. First time he's been over 70. He went 75 once, 70.
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah.
He just needs to make one more pitch, and I would believe his night would be over.
I think he made it. Will it stay in play? Coming over is Kramer in front of the Texas dugout. And the Longhorns strand another runner, but they get a run back on a long ball. Brooks Marlowe hit it. His brother Ty decided to go ahead and catch it in the bullpen. They got a good one here in Austin. Welcome back. Here's tonight's game summary. It is powered by the new Chevy Silverado. The true freshman, Dotson, has looked very good his first career start. He's from Texas, 2 earned runs. Texas, 2 errors in the 6th that led to 2 runs. That's how West Virginia took the 3-1 lead. Then Brooks Marlowe just made it a 1-run game with a solo shot. C.J. Hinojosa will throw out Kyle Davis, the Mountaineers leading hitter, for the first out. type of game you guys expected?
Well, we weren't sure what to expect from me anyway with the freshman right-hander. I just didn't know what to really expect from him. It's really been impressive. He's done a nice job of mixing things up. Defense, both these teams have been very good defensively. Both of them coming over 970 as teams. The 4 miscues really have changed the complexion of the game a little bit.
Well, most definitely. It's what I thought it would be as far as a Friday night a Big 12 opener. I mean, it's what you always want to look at. A couple years ago, I remember Parker going up against Texas Tech, and then the game was 1-0 on an opening game of a Friday night. And it's been a well-pitched game. The defense, like he said, a little sloppy. It's cost Texas tonight. We talked about the keys of the game, not giving them extra runners. Well, those are the extra runners, and one of them has cost them, especially down only 1 run, 3-2.
And that's been a problem for this team when they have lost this year. And Augie, we know Augie. Augie doesn't hide about anything. Augie would be the first to say we have not been clean at times. We need to get more discipline everywhere. Huth down in the count 1-2. Casey has struggled at the plate, but he's a dynamic athlete. He's going to ring him up, and Parker likes it. Caught him looking.
Parker showing extra emotion tonight. Got out of the jam earlier in the game and was staring down. And watch this little. I don't think he meant to get that breaking ball inside like that, but look at the fist pump afterwards. Getting fired up.
Front door slider, though, as a hitter, you give just enough, and then it breaks back and catches the corner. You don't want to live in there, as you mentioned, but surprise.
You saw Trace kind of flinch because you put one in there. You know the hitters can put a good swing on it.
There was a fist pump, and he also was pimping it a little bit, so it was both of those. Sean Wood. And Skip's going to come out here. What is this about? He's at 85.
Maybe more concentration as far as Parker on Parker's part. Right now, Skip, you just got the 2 outs and fall behind 2-0 on the hitter. Let's use that stuff, get over the plate.
Kirby Bello just got up in the Texas bullpen. I believe the freshman Kyle Johnston. So lefty-righty action. When you take a look at the outs, Parker has been getting tons of ground balls, does have 5 strikeouts, but how about Connor Dotson? That's 15 flyouts. The only ground out was a bunt attempt by Brett Boswell for a base hit. And this is 3-0.
Almost had changeup movement on it. That was a 91-mile-an-hour sinker.
The arm's feeling good today. 4-pitch walk, though, to Wood. You get those 2 quick outs, Keith and Greg. Sometimes you just think you're in the dugout.
Well, that was the conversation, and as Greg said, in my mind, as you walk out, so what are you doing? You got 2 quick outs, and you were close with the first 2 pitches, and then you end up walking a guy. You extend the inning.
Cascadden now up.
The other thing is, it gets the top of the order to the plate for West Virginia in the 8th.
Which is how they scored their 2 runs in the 6th. And at the top of the order, Munden, Fox, and Kramer all up. Texas defense helped them out. West Virginia 7, 8, and 9 hitters, 0 for 6 with 4 Ks and 1 walk. Cascadden has 2 of those strikeouts. He's looking to stay away from the hat trick here. He will do that. Boswell down on it, throw over, and Tucker is thrown out. Parker, French, looking good on a Friday.
Coming into the Big 12 opener, Connor Dotson with his first collegiate start did an outstanding job. Lots of fly balls, lots of poise, lots of confidence on the mound by this young man. Kept his team in the game, has a 1-run lead right now as we go into the bottom of the 7th inning. But this young man found his breaking ball as the game went on, but relied a lot on that fastball. You see right there, already got a little ice on the arm, telling him, well, I had the breaking ball going late and ran my fastball in. Kept this team going right there. First career start against Texas in Austin.
He's from Flower Mound, true freshman. Pretty impressive stuff. He's got a bright future for Randy Mazey and the Mountaineers, and he's going to give way to Blake Smith. Blake Smith, also a Texan. He's a junior from Tyler via Howard College. And Blake's a big old boy, 6'5", 230 pounds. What do you know about him, Greg?
He's going to bring some heat. We know that. It looks like this year he's had a little problem commanding that fastball. 11 walks in 9 2/3 innings. He'll throw a fastball. Sometimes it register up there close to 94 miles an hour. It has a changeup to go with it, but he'll rely a lot on that fastball.
Good chance here for Texas, trailing by a run. Top of the order. Ben Johnson will lead it off. He doubled and scored back in the 3rd. Hit the ball hard his last time up, but a line drive that Cascadden was able to make a play on, and then double up Taylor Stell at second. That drastically changed the feeling of that inning and this game.
And he comes in throwing the first pitch changeup.
Well, and the reason you do that is to Ben Johnson. He's a good first ball fastball hitter. He gets around the league. That's an adjustment that Ben will have to make as well. And he had his mind made up that time. You could almost see, I'm swinging at this first pitch.
He's back to it, 0-2. Augie said, and he said a couple times, he obviously loves having us, ESPN and LHN, to do this, and it does help with recruiting, but they are the best scouted team in the country.
Yes,
everyone knows about them. 1-2.
3 straight off speed. That was a changeup. Again, right there. Not sure you want to bury it that far out in front of home plate. But right now, they're trying to feed off the aggressiveness of Ben Johnson. That man's been around. He coached down the road at Texas State and gets the breaking ball over right there. A called strike 3 by Blake Smith.
Is that a mistake?
Yeah, you don't want to throw a hanging breaking ball like that. Sometimes a hitter's like, I'm not going to swing at it either because it's too high, and you get the call. So catcher O'Brien was set up down in the zone. He missed a spot, but a lot of times you're not going to hit your spot every time. Got away with it.
Colin Shaw's up. Got the first hit for Texas in the 1st inning, but did not come around to score. Flight out to right, and he's also walked.
Ball does come out of his hand.
93 miles an hour. First fastball we've seen.
He's 92.
Derek Matlock, the pitching coach for West Virginia. He's from these parts. Coached down with Ty Harrington down at Texas State for a few years. Probably recruited some of these Texas players, the seniors. Done a good job at West Virginia. This is their first night game of the year. Haven't played a home game. Yeah.
No, they're happy to be at 7-6, and sure happy to be up 3-2 in this one in the 7th. Shaw to right. He got under this too much. Teammates have been giving him, some ribbing because he has not hit a home run in college yet, but he can hit him. I mean, he hits him in practice.
Well, he's got enough power. It's just hasn't worked out that way. He's got a ton of doubles. He's done a nice job. Got in on him that time about the label too. He had the right trajectory. Just got in on him enough. And here's the guy Texas is glad to see has gotten going in this ballgame.
C.J. Hinojosa with a triple and an RBI in the 3rd inning. He's feet away from leaving the park, and he would be tied up right now if that was the case.
He puts the same swing on it. 93 mile an hour fastball. It'll go out.
He does. Will it? To left. To left. It's gone. Not a bad call, Greg Swindell. He put a swing on it, and we're tied.
He's dead set in red right here after he misses with the first fastball. CJ's a good fastball hitter. He's been working on keeping that front shoulder from flying open. Does a nice job here staying compact. You see the front shoulder stays there. Gets good extension right here.
He exploded on that ball.
Yes, he did.
Well, there's times when you don't have to put a real firm swing on it. The pitcher will supply a lot of it, but that ball gets out just by 3 feet. And CJ put a good swing on the one earlier, and that one right there put a real good swing on.
Tres Barrera Forrest had an opportunity his last time up. Bases loaded. Couldn't get anything going. This is a major league pop fly to right field. And Wood is underneath it. Texas is done here in the 7th, but they tie it up on a C.J. Hinojosa solo shot. Welcome back to Austin, Texas. Kevin Dunn, Keith Moreland, Greg Swindell, Longhorns with a couple solo runs in the 6th and 7th to tie it up at 3. It's been a mirrored type game. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for each team. Great atmosphere as the Big 12 opener here in Austin at the Dish for Friday night. Had perfect weather. And we have ourselves a ball game here as we head to the 8th inning. Munden, Fox, and Kramer. It's going to be 1, 2, and 3. This is the same 1, 2, 3 lineup that back in the 6th produced 2 runs.
Yeah, the top of this order, all 3 runs have come out of the first 3 hitters in the game for West Virginia. Munden has been everything that we talked about. He's on the path right now to be an All-American. He's had a magnificent start to his senior campaign.
4th time for him to lead off this game. Let's turn the lineup over.
We're not getting any production out of your 9-hole.
Right. Actually, you look at their 7 through 9 and a lot of strikeouts. You get a lot of 1, 2, 3, so it's more the other way around. It's in there for a strike, 0 and 2. What do you come with here, Greg? You got to be careful with this guy.
I'm staying away. You don't want anything inner half of the plate that he can get his hands on. I know that he has a good sinker.
Takes this to right. Shaw moving over. Shaw moving over. It's going to be a foul ball. That is a very tough right field to play. That's why number 4 is out there.
Keep the ball away from him. Make him use that big part of the field out there. We've seen it just get up in the air tonight by a lot of Texas hitters and just not go anywhere.
Well, he's also got 5 home runs, which is tied for the conference lead out of the leadoff position. So he's obviously showing some power. And that ball had a lot of carry to it that time.
Yeah, it did. He's a good-looking player. I think he would get a shot at the next level, minor league ball, and see what he can do with it. He's trying to go to right now.
What's impressed for me, Greg, is his ability with 2 strikes in this ball game. He seems like he's come to the plate in each and every at bat and been down 1 and 2 or 0-2. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. It doesn't bother him to have 2 strikes.
2.
Sign of good hitters. Yeah, I mean, you have confidence in your ability to see the ball and not panic in 2-strike situations. Parker needs to waste a pitch. He's going to swing if you can get the ball down out of the zone.
Got that up, but Munden pops it up. Can 2 was right there.
Gigantic out. In my opinion, biggest out of, tie game in the 8th, their best hitter you retired. Got a chance to not see him again in the ball game.
And you don't want the leadoff hitter on here in the 8th inning, especially a man who can run like Munden can.
See what Parker's done tonight. Longest outing this season. Extend him a little bit. He's looked good. Defense hasn't necessarily helped him out with 2 errors behind him. This is Justin Fox. Justin sack, got on with an E5 and scored back in the 6th.
That's the one Parker's looking for right there. The first one again was a hanging breaking ball. That one there, he got out front, snapped it off real good, had good bite on it.
0-2, chases it, and he gets him. 6th strikeout for Parker French.
And when you get ahead 0-2, 1-2, you can waste pitches. This is a waste slider away from Fox right there. Nothing close to the zone. Parker French showing that emotion again.
I think he may have thought there were 3 outs, but that's also, you never know with Parker because he kind of does his Dressendorfer Swindell dance that they like to do after getting a K.
Nobody quite like Dennis Eckersley, actually, but
a lot of people took offense to it. But he had a lot of them.
Jackson Kramer. You would have played with Eck kind of before he turned into that, but he was still pretty nasty, right?
He still had great stuff. One of the few guys to win a lot of games, start 300 games, save 300 games, throw a no-hitter, and save 300 games. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. 2-1 here to Jackson Kramer. Singled and scored in the first. 2 outs, 2 big outs for Parker French. Texas fans wanted that. Barrera liked it. It's 3-1.
Keep it. Excuse me, Greg. Keep this ball in the ballpark. That's it. Yes, you'd love to have that pitch, but now my main focus as a catcher right now, keep the pitch in the ballpark.
He's got tons of power. It's going to be 3-2. He's got power to all fields too. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Good matchup here. French against Kramer. Rolls it over. Marlowe to Cantu. A big 1-2-3 inning in 2 4s, doing some barking. We're tied.
Aaron Shaw.
Welcome back. We are tied at 3. And Brooks Marlowe is going to lead it off. Last time he was up a home run, Keith, and maybe kind of a different situation here. He wants to get on base, but a home run gives you the lead.
Well, yeah, he's a good leadoff hitter. You know, he did that all last year. He sees a lot of pitches, but this is a quality at bat. His last at bat, he fouled off 3 or 4 really good pitches inside, worked the count to 3-2, and finally got a pitch he could handle. And as Greg said, as soon as he left the bat, you'd had that sound and that trajectory that you knew it had a chance to get out of here. It's his 2nd home run of the season, and the 2nd and is in many games.
Here it is. It was a deep fly ball, but you can tell, as Greg said, left the bat, had one of those Kieschnick type feels.
Well, it just had a good sound to it, and it was really quality bat. He had ripped 2 balls foul in the at bat, and then got a fastball he could handle, now facing Smith for the first time.
He just kind of rolled over a couple deep fly balls earlier in the game, and that one was a little bit more in. He was able to put his namesake on that one.
Yeah, he was named after Brooks Kieschnick. Blake Smith out for his 2nd full inning of work. In relief of Connor Dotson, the true freshman from Flower Mound, who made himself and I'm sure his family and all the Flower Mound family very proud, because he came in here and did a heck of a job.
Did an outstanding job. 2-0 here. I'm looking for 1 pitch.
3-0 you taking here?
I'm taking 3-0 and 3-1. And I think the bunt may be in order after that.
You can get that leadoff hitter on right now. You'll take it.
Absolutely.
It's in there for a strike.
Now, if you're swinging here, Greg, going back to the point, I know what pitch I like, and for Brooks, it's a ball up. He's most left-hand hitters are good low ball hitters. Brooks is a good high ball hitter, so he's looking at a ball above the belt here. If you're going to swing at it, it's got to be something up, and he got it.
Yep, he did. Same thing here, and
he's going to get another one.
He's going to get a fastball, right, guys? Or you got to expect that.
I'd hit off of the fastball. Now 3-1, he knew he was getting fastball. Now you got to hit what I say when hitting off the fastball. I'm geared for the fastball, but I can't get there too quick because somebody might decide to pull the string.
3-2, may a chase ball 4. That was going to be close. He had a really good at-bat last time. I believe saw 9 pitches and then decided to hit one out. Cut it to 3-2. 3-2. He did chase ball 4 there, and this is popped up. Second baseman Cascadden underneath it. And there's 1 out.
Put a little star beside that for me. Brooks is in a different spot than he was last year, but I guarantee you when he was in the leadoff spot last year, you wouldn't have seen that very often. He was probably more patient, now in more of an RBI spot, hitting in 5th in the lineup, and it changes your mindset a little bit.
Brings up Brett Boswell. Boswell looking for his first hit.
Be a good time for his first home.
That too.
You've been on a roll tonight.
I know.
He has such a good swing, a dynamic swing. He could run into one right here against this good fastball.
To right. Going back, going back, going back. He's not going to be able to get that one out. He gave it a shot, just got a little under it.
Hanging breaking ball. Got under that one. Yeah, that was another big league out. Ball was up there for a long time.
It's a major league fly ball. So 2 outs for Cantu. Now he does have the power also.
I'm not going to go there.
Well's dry now.
We'll save it for a walk-off.
Yeah, he's shown some patience. Be interesting to see if he did walk here, if you saw a pinch runner, or if he got on in any way.
I'll go back to the point he walked with 2 outs and nobody on earlier in the game. As a big guy that can't steal a base, you're thinking one thing, extra base hit here. It's not that you're thinking home run, but how do I get myself into scoring position? So I'm looking for something I can really drive right here. And by doing that, a lot of times you take away right field in your mind. You think, I need to go ahead and juice something into the gap. So it changes you a little bit as a hitter.
They're giving him right field, but right center is actually kind of open. As you see, Huff is shaded over. 3-0.
It could be a possibility if he does get on. I don't know if I could pinch run him first. Maybe if he got the second.
For a strike.
Well, if you're pinch running in that scenario, I'd agree with you, Greg. If you're pinch running, you got to have a guy that can steal a bag. It's not just going for pinch running. He's got to get into scoring position, and quickly.
Yes.
We'll see as Cantu takes the walk. His 3rd walk of the game.
We are going to see a pinch runner.
I'm going to bring in the freshman, Patrick Mathis from Waco.
This is where I'm thinking about getting the bag. A wild pitch, something to get themselves into scoring position.
Yeah, we're going to have a pinch hitter as well.
Try to get a righty-lefty matchup, get the best matchup you can find.
So Stell will be out. Connor McCullough is in. He's a sophomore from Houston. He's come on. Augie's talked about him a little bit. And they were hoping that Connor at some point would be able to get in. And this is a big opportunity for the young man.
Now you get a better matchup here. You get something you feel a little better. Also hides the catcher a little bit. The catcher can't tell if you're breaking. It's easier to steal a bag with a left-handed hitter than it is a right-handed hitter at the plate. Big lead.
Interesting choice here, guys. Augie's won more games than anyone. He knows what he's doing, but this was not expected.
Well, something he has the luxury of this year. He's got a pinch hitter up there.
You're right.
Texas didn't have too many of those last year.
This is stung to right center. Coming over, though, and coming over quickly is Huff. He gave it a nice ride, but we head to the 9th, and we're tied. We're back. We got a good one here in Austin. We are tied at 3 as we go to the 9th. Parker French out for his 9th inning of work. I'll start with you, Greg. You're our pitcher here. What have you seen from 2-4 today?
Well, I've seen him get the fastball around the plate. He's been very effective with runners in scoring position. I mean, they do have the 3 runs, but he really got after it when he had to. The defense let him down. He made the pitches. And I love that the starting pitcher's out there right now in the 9th inning. I love every bit of that.
Yeah, you did that a lot. What have you seen offensively from this?
Well, I think 2 things that have jumped off the page. Parker's been very good, especially with 2 outs, as Greg was mentioning on that side. Offensively for Texas, I would say that they haven't taken advantage of their opportunities. When they've had an opportunity to get the job done, they haven't done it very well. And West Virginia started off offensively against Parker really well, have really struggled as of late. Well, you go back and look at, because those 2 runs that West Virginia put on the board in the 6th, both of those came from the defense.
Yep, you're right. Brad Johnson down in the count 0-2. 4, 5, and 6 due up for West Virginia. He tried to paint, and that's outside.
Parker was wanting to walk that one off. I think if you throw it there again, you'll get it, even if you go a little further away.
Johnson does have 2 hits. He's seen Parker pretty well tonight.
I think he's got one. I think this is the one batter you're going to see. That's, in my opinion, this Parker knows that I've got to go get this one guy out.
And he does. Ring him up. Caught him looking.
Even now, Parker's feeling it out there. 109 pitches. I know your lefty's ready in the pen. You got a lefty coming up. Well, Brian.
I'm thinking in my mind that would be my thoughts right here is I'm going to let him go get a guy that's a good right-handed hitter, but he's going to stay with him.
7 Ks. His career high is 8. Usually a ground ball type guy. His stuff's been electric tonight. His career high 8 1/3. This is hit sharply, and Shaw's not going to mess around with it. He thought about taking a shot. All right, you get him now?
Now
he's got a righty up now.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to this point, I might let him stay. I might have gone and got him before, as I told you. I think I would have probably went to my bullpen at that point. It is a nice night to pitch, though. I mean, the weather's perfect, so you don't have to really pitch count. At this point, it's already a bunch.
Average-wise, this is West Virginia's best hitter. It's Kyle Davis. He came in hitting .365. They came in hitting .271 as a club. He does have a knock today. Kevin Dunn, Keith Moreland, Greg Swindell. First game of the Big 12 for both these teams. First weekend. Runner takes off. French will go to second. CJ will go to first in a double play, and Parker French is feeling it. We go to the bottom.
Aaron Shireman.
Going to the bottom of the 9th. Texas and West Virginia tied. Parker French, what a way to get out of the top of the 9th. A 1-6-3.
Well, you got to know what you're going to do right here. He made that decision. I'm going to take a shot to go to second. And with the hit and run on, just gets it in time. And then CJ does a nice job of coming off in front to stay away from the slide and get the ball off to get the double play. And there's some excitement and some energy right there for Parker French.
Not shooting the guns like our partner over here did, 21, but it was dressed, you know, Swindell type of motion.
You got to punch out. You got to get a strikeout before you can shoot him down like that. No, but that's Parker French right there. The ball was hit back to him firm enough to where he had time with a quick release to get it to second.
9, 1, and 2 due up. Burwitz, Johnson, and Shaw. Zane 0 for 2. Did have a sacrifice and got on an E3, but also has a couple of flyouts. Texas as a team has plenty of flyouts tonight. Right field, moving over is Wood. He's at the line, and there's one out.
Just underneath it with his elbow, got a breaking ball that was not the type of pitch that Smith wanted. This ball is up. Just couldn't get on top of it. Need an extra base hit.
Well, this is a guy who can give you an extra base hit, and he's had plenty of hits this year. He's in the top 5 in the country. Who knows who's on fire tonight? And that may be changing, but and did have a double and scored a run back in the 3rd. He does have power to go deep.
So last at bat, Ben saw a lot of off-speed pitches.
And took a fastball right there.
He's looking for the off-speed. He's thinking, you can't throw me a fastball down the middle. They didn't last time. Ooh, jumped out in front of that.
Yeah, I got a hanger. It was up. Got a pitch to hit.
He's had a couple pitches here. Probably better pitches than he thought he was going to see in this at-bat. He's down in the count, 0-2.
Well, Smith's got him set up for a lot of different ways he can attack him now.
Didn't chase.
have to be careful with that fastball. I would stay breaking ball. Ben is very aggressive. Keep it out of the zone.
Be a tough play. Munden backhands it. He knows he can run, and it's going to get past him and into the stands. Ben Johnson will go up to second base. Well, Taylor knew who was going down the line.
He's got a great arm, does Munden, but that time he knew he had to get rid of it quickly. He tries to go to the backhand. Johnson gets out of the box quickly, tries to put as much as he can on it. The throw actually hits off of Ben Johnson. Watches he finishes the run right here, hits his heel right there, and kicks up into the stands, puts him into scoring position. I would call that a base hit myself, and E6 on the throw.
You walk Colin Shaw right here?
I do.
Set up a double play.
Set up the double play and got two right-handed hitters in a row.
Well, Cam O'Brien is looking over into the dugout, and Randy Mazey is giving instructions.
Very tough for college pitchers if you're going to pitch around a hitter, to pitch around him.
Yeah, I don't like that either, Greg. I'd much rather say, here's 4.
Maybe they're going to take a couple shots at it and then stand up and say, walking. You risk throwing a breaking ball in the dirt, going to the backstop.
We're giving up a double.
That's a good pitch to hit again. That ball was up at the belt.
Amazing little sigh right there.
To center. Going back is Huth. He makes the play. Johnson will tag up. We'll get to third, and there's 2 outs. And a lot of ways to score now.
Well, you're talking about the ball in the dirt. Pretty good at bat right there by Shaw. Put a good charge into it. Excellent base running by Johnson. He took a look and saw that, hey, I don't want to go halfway here. Went back to the bag, took advantage to move up to 90 feet. Winning run 90 feet away. The guy's had a big night already coming to the plate.
You got to know who your center fielder is, and if it's going to stay in the park, that kid's going to catch it.
Right.
Here comes CJ. He has done some damage, including back in the 7th inning.
He gets a fastball with a 1-0 count, and he puts a charge into it. He was looking for it, got the ball up where he wanted to, tied the game right there. That solo homer. You're talking about here. Got to block the ball, Greg. That's one of the conversations I know is going on. You got to say to O'Brien, you got to keep it in front of you, because we can't go attack this guy with fastballs, because he's a good fastball hitter. He's already hit 1 off the wall and 1 out of the park.
Yeah.
So we got to throw benders to him. Or you're saying, hey, just throw some benders or throw the fastball away. We'll go after Barrera, who's 0 for 4 tonight. So you got choices right here. This is what the little things. That's why it's a cerebral game. There's so many things that are happening.
Well, we saw it in the last at bat to Colin Shaw. If they were going to try to pitch around him, he left some breaking balls over the middle of the plate. And it's very tough to waste pitches and try to get a hitter to chase them in situations like this, because now the pressure's on everyone.
Texas
right after.
And I'm stunned by that.
I am too.
1 for 13 with runners on. All hits have been by CJ. There it is. You got to block that, or else that could be the ball game.
I would not be surprised to see an early break trying to force a balk too by Ben Johnson. You know, third baseman Fox is way back. He can get down the line, maybe get in the vision of Smith.
A good block. Backed it. Got underneath
the protector.
Yeah.
Came up, hit underneath the hockey-style mask, and slid into the top of his chest protector. Was inside. Watch this ball pop up hit him in the mask, and then come right under his chest protector. Where's the ball? Hitting ball trick.
Really? 3-1.
You have to know also right now for C.J. Hinojosa to not go chasing right here.
Yep.
Looking fastball back up the middle.
Well, I'm thinking the other way. You just need a base hit right here. I'd be real surprised if he gets a fastball.
They're going to put him on.
Well, that will give the force at second. And it brings up Barrera. He is due today. He has been up at the plate 4 times, and he's flied out 4 times.
He's been off a little bit underneath the fastball.
Looked like he's just pulling off of it.
Yeah, he's pulling the front side off. Just when you pull your front side off, the back side collapses, Greg, and you just can't get on top of the fastball. You can make contact, but you can't get on top of it.
He's reached base safely in all 18 straight games, including all 17 games this season. That one goes back to last year, but pretty impressive what Tress has done, but he has been struggling a little bit. Big opportunity, had the bases loaded earlier.
You don't hold the runner at first here, Kevin. You want to play defense. They will allow Hinojosa second if he wants it.
Gets underneath this one. Another pop-up. Cascadden is underneath it, and he makes the play. We got extras, some free baseball here in Austin.
The University of Texas.
What a day for Parker French. Dripping Springs native. Had the velo working, but the ground balls, that's the name of the game for him, Greg, and he had them.
That is the name of the game for Parker French, but tonight, look at here. They're showing an array of strikeouts, and Parker really was emotional tonight. The first Big 12 game, Friday night at home. See the numbers there, 9 innings, career high, 114 pitches. Did a really good job, gave up the runs in the middle of the game. He kept his team back in it, and they were able to tie it up. But on the other side, Connor Dotson, tip your hat to that freshman too. It's been a good pitch game, a little sloppy defensively, but I think the starting pitchers pitched well.
Yeah, they've been good, and now Parker will give way to Kirby Bello from Nederland, Texas. He's a senior and really has come into his own and getting a lot more action for Skip Johnson.
Well, that's just it. He's out there. He's had multiple knee surgeries. He's had a tough time with his health. This year, he's getting out there. You see the numbers, the 2.03 ERA, only 2 walks in the season. Just throwing the ball, keeping the ball around the plate. Got the strikeouts coming from a very tough angle from the left side, even tougher righties to pick up.
Yeah, I think the change he made and it's set up pitching out of the stretch all the time. It's created a different arm slot for him, and that's made him more effective.
Yeah, he's tough to pick up.
Kevin Dunn, Keith Moreland, Greg Swindell here. Extra innings. What a beautiful night.
Bonus baseball.
Yes, bonus baseball. Nothing better than that. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 due up. This is Casey Huff.
And you mentioned earlier, Kevin, the bottom of this order for West Virginia has struggled tonight.
Yeah, he gets breaking ball for a strike. He's 0 for 2 with the sack.
Greg, when you have struggled, you didn't in your career, but when you've struggled to get health and get out on the field and do the things you wanted to do as a collegiate player, then as a senior, to it after this.
It takes his time, 1 out.
And then as a senior, you're finally getting the opportunity to make a contribution. It's really a good story to me for what Kirby has done this year to find his way and work his way back on the field.
Well, yeah, it's a great story. I mean, the guy a couple years ago was starting first baseman.
Yeah.
And goes through the injuries and really fights back to get back on in the uniform, works on his delivery, works with Austin Wood. I mean, the guy has done a lot of work. It's a great story, and it's just icing on the cake to see how well he's pitched so far this year.
Sean Wood now up as Travis Jones came in last inning. Quick inning. He's come in to play first base after Cantu was pinch run for. And the Texas fans wanted that. I think Wood thought that was a strike, too.
I think he did, too.
Step off. He's much tougher on lefties, but he's been pretty effective against either side, especially this year. Gets that call in there. As a hitter, I know you're a right-hander. Why is it so hard, the lefty on lefty, though?
I just don't think you've seen it as many. And, of course, if you have the stuff as Greg had, they got good stuff, too,
right.
from that side. But I really believe it's picking up. It's about the ability to pick up the ball out of the hand of a left-hander, because you're so, 71.4% of all pitchers throw from the right side. So it's just a different look.
You just don't see it that much. 2-2 to Wood here. 1 out. Tied here in the 10th. That was maybe a little upstairs.
See where Kirby here on the first base side over here of the rubber. My entire career, even until I got traded to Boston in 1998, I was on the third base side.
3-2. Oh, couldn't hold on.
I got traded to Boston in 1998. Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach in Boston, moved me to the first base side because I was going to be mainly a matchup guy, a lefty-lefty guy, which I'd never been in my career, and got me in the batter's box as the left-handed hitter and got a left-handed pitcher on the mound and said, now, where do you see the ball coming from? And it was like 3 feet behind me.
Wow.
Whereas on the other side of the rubber, I could pick it up a little easier.
He gets him there. Strikeout for Bello.
So, yeah, I never hit off a lefty-lefty. But when I got in the box and realized that a breaking ball sometimes can start 4 feet behind your head, I mean, it's really tough to pick up and really tough to stay in the box when you see something coming behind you or at you.
Wood had some problems with it. 2 outs. And this will bring up Tucker Cascadden.
We're going to have a pinch hitter here.
Yeah. Well, Tucker had a tough day. He had 2 strikeouts and a ground out. See who they go with here. It's going to be 42. Ray Guarini. Yeah, he started most of the games at catcher, but we're struggling a little bit. They wanted some more offense, so they went with Cam, and he's given him that thus far. Team high 17 strikeouts and 30 at bats this season.
Well, he struggled to do the things offensively that he needed to do, but he does have some power. And when you're looking for it here, you're looking for an extra base hit. That's what, as West Virginia now 2 outs, nobody on, you got to get into scoring position.
1-1. Texas, you're looking towards the bottom of the 10th. Marlowe, Boswell, and would think Travis Jones, who came into pinch run. You see a pinch hitter there. Strike away is Bello.
One more backdoor breaker, you go back legging. I don't take a chance inside.
I do not miss with anything inside, because if it's up, it can leave the ballpark.
He wants it in the dirt. That's
stay away again.
He asked for a fastball in the dirt or fastball low.
I think he wanted it down for sure.
Two does get this in the air towards right center. Gurwitz and Shaw both going over. Shaw's going to take it. 1, 2, 3 go West Virginia in the 10th. Brooks Marlowe has gone deep. Can he go deep again? Going to the bottom of the 10th, Brooks Marlowe is going to lead it off. Back in the 6th inning, Brooks showed his power as he took one to right field. If he does that here, that would end it. And at second base, Sean Corso, who was scheduled to play this game but was in the hospital with an IV. Well, now he's going to come in as a defensive replacement. Quite a gamer.
No, he is quite a gamer, but you know he doesn't feel great.
No.
But he's going to do what he can to help his club win a ball game. Leadoff hitter, good guy to lead off. Marlowe has sees a lot of pitches. He gets deep counts.
Well, back in the 8th, he had ball 4 leading off and swung at it. Swings at ball 1 right there. 1-1. This is laced to right. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. Into the corner. In fact, it's going to be a ground rule double. We talk about how weird that corner is over there. That may have helped West Virginia.
Well, it might have, because he could have kicked around in that corner, but he gets the ball up right here. Boy, he puts a good swing on this. This is actually a prettier swing than the ball that left the ballpark. This ball is up, does a nice job transferring to the front side. Just really does a nice job over that front side. You can see the weight shift to that front side, gets over the top of it, rips it into the corner, right on the chalk.
Right on it.
Get him over, bring the infield up. Got to do the job right here.
Brett Boswell will most likely be looking to sacrifice. The infield expecting it.
You have to realize if you're Brooks Marlowe, it doesn't have to be, I mean, you don't have to go right here.
That's right.
Make sure the ball is bunted to where you can get to third base. Last thing you want to do is get thrown out at third on a bad bunt.
And Boswell's job here is to push it at the third baseman. It's much easier for a left-handed hitter to do that. He can just reach out, push it the other way. Force the third baseman to field it, then Marlowe can move up 90 feet.
Fox is up, third baseman. Swinging.
Surprising.
You saw the infield moving around, maybe trying to throw him off there?
Well, they did that earlier in the game when they got the double play. Munden went like the flash play, and the pitcher Dotson threw it, and it was a line drive double play to second base.
But shortstop was wide open. That was when Ben Johnson was up. And now O'Brien's going to try and get the defense set.
Casey Clements has moved out into the on-deck circle.
Yes, he has. He does not have an at-bat this year. To right, will this do the job? Oh, almost gets over his head. That would have ended the game, but instead Marlowe will move up. Got the job done, Keith.
That's a good at-bat for Boswell right there to do the job as a left-handed hitter. That is a very productive out. Yes, it doesn't go as anything except an out on your batting average, but you get the job done. Now the infield will have to come up, and Casey Clements will to be the pinch hitter.
Casey has come in as a defensive replacement. Did that in Houston when Texas was taking on Rice. 6'1", 203-pound sophomore. He struggled with the bat last year. Did show a little bit of pop, at least enough pop to get a run home.
Well, he's been taking batting practice on a regular basis, so this is not like he's just all of a sudden going to come out and going to hit. So he's been hitting every day.
In batting practice.
In batting practice.
He hasn't been out here in the game the winning run on third base.
No, he hasn't been in that. But at least, at least he's getting some. It's different than going to pitch. If you hadn't gone to the mound and all of a sudden they throw you the ball and say, you got to throw a strike.
Guys, you walk him here, right? Set up a double play, and then you've got McCullough behind him.
I go after him because he hasn't got a hit.
Exactly.
You know, I'm gonna attack. I'm going to attack him just because of what Greg was saying. You know, he hasn't had an at-bat this season. He is a veteran. He's been around a while. It's not like that he hasn't had a collegiate at-bat.
And by Blake Smith attacking him is going after him with breaking balls, off-speed stuff.
Yeah, my only thinking with that would be with McCullough on deck.
Yep.
Connor doesn't have any experience. And Casey actually has more experience at the plate than Connor does.
If you're going to do that, I might walk both of them and face the right-handed hitter with Gerwitz at the plate.
They're going to keep the infield in, which tells me they're not going to walk him.
This is their 1-0.
You're looking as a hitter, you're zoned out above the belt. Above the belt, you're just telling yourself, see the ball up. As the ball's up, you're going to hit it up. If you swing it something down, it's going to be on the ground.
Marlowe at third.
Right now would be a good time for another fly ball to the outfield.
Showing some patience, something he did at the plate last year.
23 outs in the air tonight. They would take one more.
They absolutely would.
For a sac fly.
They've been good at that tonight. Watch out, it's going to hit him. Marlowe will have to come back. That will set up the double play ball. We'll see if he's going to stick with Connor.
Well, now I would definitely walk Connor and load the bases in this scenario, just to get the force play at the plate and get my right-hander Smith to face a right-handed hitter in Gerwitz.
Middle infield will stick at double play depth or go to double play depth.
Yeah, I mean, you would hate to lose the game on a double play that's not turned.
Right. Connor 0 for 4.
I can't play my infield back here. I gotta shut the run off at the plate.
What a time to get your first hit. He did go around. Texas fans not happy with that call. This should do it. To right center. It's caught, but that's it. Coming home is Marlowe, and Texas wins the Big 12 opener.
Well, I tell you what, that's exactly what you get right there. It's all about what takes place early in the inning. Right there at the end, it was a little bit scary to me because Clements has got to get back to the bag.
He was just out about to celebrate with the team, but if they go to first, he's the third out.
But he gets this ball, nice job right there, and he knows it right away. Connor, he looks up and he knows he's hit that ball far enough, but right here at the end, I'm going, get back to the bag, Casey, get back to the bag.
And they're all telling him to.
Yeah. Well, Casey at one point saw that. You saw him really start to hightail it back, but doesn't matter, as what an opportunity for McCullough. You would think that's something that would build a little confidence. You talk about that hitting all the time.
You're right, and it's really heck of a ball game tonight. We saw a lot of different things. Parker French outstanding, and then offensively taking advantage of the little things, and the little things paid off in that ninth inning.
They did pay off, and able to overcome the errors early in the game to get down 3-1. The eyes of Texas.
Volleyball team enjoying the action, and why wouldn't you? This is what college baseball is all about, what Big 12 baseball is all about. Guys, we had a dandy. Hopefully the rest of the season is like this.
Well, we saw power, was something we hadn't seen in the last few years, or an integral part of the game. Defense, an integral part of this game as well, Greg.
Oh, it was a great game. You saw a kid, Connor Michaela, come off who had minimal at-bats on the season to get a sacrifice fly. I mean, it was just a good game all around. Love seeing Parker French going into the ninth inning, getting the pitch count up. I mean, it's just a great way to start Big 12. West Virginia played an outstanding game. They pitched well on both sides, starting and relieving.
We're going to talk to Connor here in a second. But I also think, guys, that also what you guys have talked about and what Augie and the coaching staff has talked about almost came to bite Texas again. If you're sloppy on the base pass, if you are lackadaisical or just make issues or problems defensively, it's going to bite you. And it almost got Texas today as we welcome you inside the booth before we get to the hero of this game, Kevin Dunn, Keith Moreland, and also Greg Swindell. Texas still has room for improvement, I guess is my point.
Well, you're always going to have room for improvement, but the little things, they did well tonight. Late in the game, got to find a way to get him over. Boswell with the big hit gets him to third base, and then you do the job even though you're down in the order. Guys coming off the bench did the job tonight. It takes a village sometimes to win a ball game, and they found a way to come away with a victory. I can't take anything away from West Virginia. I thought they played a very good ball game on the night. The mistakes they made defensively, though, helped Texas get back in the game.
On both sides. I mean, West Virginia let Texas back in. Texas let West Virginia take the lead, but Texas was able to overcome late in the game on a big sacrifice fly. Texas 24 flyouts on the night. The last one, the biggest, beating a game-winning sacrifice fly.
Yeah, they didn't want that many flyouts. They wanted one, though, on that 24th. And let's get down to Connor, who has to feel great. Kind of take us through, what were you feeling? What were the nerves like as you step up there knowing if I hit a fly ball, we're winning?
Felt like I was in a movie. I was just, everyone cheering behind me. My teammates were rooting for me. I just knew I had to get something in the air.
Connor, when you look at that kind of scenario, you started you off with a breaking ball. Were you thinking fastball at that point? Or were you just saying, I want something up in the zone?
Yeah, I was thinking fastball. I'm always ready to hit that first pitch. Fastball for a strike.
And Connor, how about trying to get Casey back to first base after the sacrifice fly? He almost got stuck out there.
Yeah, glad he got back.
Hey, oh, there we go. Connor, I'm sure that had to feel good. Hey, you know, you still have to finish this thing, all right? You're new at this. You still have to finish this. I'm going to ask you, what did Augie talk about? I want you to get serious now that you have shaving cream all over your face. What did Augie talk about during that little meeting that he had in the middle of the game?
He just said, stay focused, stay with your approach. We're squaring balls up, doing everything right, just not falling for us. At the end of the game, it started falling for us.
Connor, thank you so much. Congratulations. It's got to be a great feeling.
Thank you.
Maybe not the shaving cream, but certainly to get that sack fly and to get this first win in the Big 12. I want to ask you real quickly your thoughts on Parker French, because the velo was higher than most of us have seen for a long time. Does this look like Parker's A game?
I think it was. I mean, Parker's gone out. He's really worked in between starts of finding out his fatigue level. I think that was what was happening earlier in the year. He was getting fatigued, and now his velocity's up there, and now he just has to be able to keep it in and be able to get that sink. You can still sink it a little bit at 94, but tonight Parker showed the bulldog that he is. He's been the Friday night guy to go out and throw over 100 pitches and get in the 9th inning. I like what I saw out of Parker French tonight to start the Big 12.
Guys, it was a lot of fun. Once again, we'll be back tomorrow. Our final score here, Texas 4, West Virginia 3-10. Be sure to tune into LHN for Game 2 of the series at 5 Central. Coming up next, it's Longhorn Extra. For Keith Moreland, Greg Swindell, and our entire crew, including Drew Irvin, our producer, and Brad Sheldon, our director, I'm Kevin Dunn saying so long from the dish.